Welcome everybody to Calls with the Wizard on this Wednesday night. I want to thank everybody in the live chat. I want to thank all the IE fools. I want to thank all the LA fools. Everybody said, who's more down, the IE or the LA fools? I said, you guys are both down. Okay, I love it when people come and bring a sense of humor to the live chat. So I hope you guys have fun and you guys go at it. It's all fun. It's all good. I don't care if you guys make fun of me or make fun of my guests or make fun of my team, you know, but as long as we keep it going. All right, everybody. Once again, before I introduce my very special guest, we will be here Friday on my other podcast, Freaky Tales. Freaky Tales, okay? So this is October. So me and my co-host Marvelous will be here, and we're going to be talking all that ghost story, spooky, paranormal type of shit, and we give people an opportunity to call in and share either their stories or if they have a question, okay? But the only thing I ask, everybody get directly to your story and get directly to your question. And then we'll be back on Sunday with another special guest for Calls with the Wizard. So we got a lot of things lined up. I got a legend coming in. Hopefully he's confirmed already, but since he doesn't live in the States, he's got to confirm he just got to confirm, but he said, pencil me in for the 23rd. And I said, I got you, OG. And he's been in the game since the 80s. So a lot of you guys have actually requested him. So hopefully everything works out. So, but before that, if you want to be on Roadium Radio and get an interview, once again, submit your music, at least 2 or 3 songs. Submit your videos, if you have any, and a short bio. Look, just don't send me your Spotify and say, hey, listen to it. No, send me at least 2 or 3 songs via email at roadiumradio@gmail.com. That's on the screen. roadiumradio@gmail.com, because a lot of you guys still DM me, a lot of guys still inbox me. How do I appear? If you're a fan of this show and you watch it, at the beginning of every show, I always give the same instructions. Email me, and somebody will contact you via email. So other than that, without further ado, please allow me to introduce somebody who's no stranger to Roadium Radio, and that is Bobby Castro. Bobby Castro, ¿cómo estás? Thank you for Calls with the Wizard, brother.
Thank you for having me back over here. It's always a good time.
The last time that you were here was probably about 11 months ago, and then before that was probably about a year before that. Mm-hmm. You know, so you've been here, you sang here, we've drank here, we've gotten buzzed here, we've talked shit here. So I thank you for coming through again.
No, thanks for having me.
Before we open up the phone lines, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about you, because you recently, again, if I'm correct, got nominated. Mm-hmm. Okay. But say you haven't been here in like the last 11 months. So what's been going on for Bobby Castro?
Just work, you know, grinding. The same thing we've always talked about when I'm here, like how it's like, you know, if you really want this, you got to put in the work, and there's just no other way about it, which is, I think that we've been able to show that with consistency is key, right? And I think that every time I've came here after the year, it was like, oh shit, now I'm doing this, and then after that, and to me, it's just a great thing to be able to show that it really works. If you, I mean, nothing is guaranteed, obviously, but I've been doing a lot of work, and now I think that we reached this moment in my career where it's like, well, I did a song on el album de Chiqui Rivera. Okay. And then her album is nominated for Best Album de Banda for the 9 Grammy. So, okay, vamos incluidos as a collaborator, no, in the album. Okay.
Now, when you say that you did a song for her, did you do the music? Did you write for her?
As a songwriter. I'm nominated as a songwriter.
As a songwriter.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope, man. You know what? I think, no, I believe it was Killer Rosa. I'm going to give her a shout out. And there was another artist here that do this type of music, like a lot of Spanish stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've always shout out your name. I say, hit up that guy. I don't know if he's busy or not, but that's the guy to go to, okay? I don't really recommend anybody else to go to, you know, because a lot of people don't realize, porque también toca la guitarra, like you play the guitar. Mm-hmm. And do you play any other instruments other than that?
I play a bunch of instruments, mostly by ear.
Okay.
You know, I would just, since I was a kid, I was able to grab things and just kind of figure them out. Okay.
You sing, you write, and a lot of things that a lot of people may not know. You did it one time here. You even rap. Mm-hmm. Now, have you ghost written for anybody lately?
Yeah, I do. I do a lot. I do a lot of writing. Still for everything. Sometimes it's ghost writing. Sometimes it's just in the open. You know, I respect it though. No matter what, I always, if I go do some work for somebody, I leave it to their discretion to, like, if they want to say like, oh, pues esto, you know, and every situation is a little different. But what's crazy is that, like, if you know a lot of, like, my rap homies, the guys, like, that were in the underground when I was really focused on the hip-hop shit, when I pull up to something with them, they're like, they have a little chip on the shoulder. They're like, man, Bobby's a rapper. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, like, because they know me from that, which is crazy that I've lived so many stages that there's some guys that will swear to God, like, nah, this was a corrido guy. That's what I know him for. And then the hip hop guys be like, nah, he's a rapper, dude. Like, he's a real MC. But it's just that, like, I've been passionate about it all forever, and I put the same amount of work into it. You know, like, you see a lot of guys that I think that have the versatility, but you could always see that, oh, no, well, this is really your stuff because you're good at this and the other shit is kind of mediocre.
Right.
And I think that me seeing that, and also, you know, you're younger and you kind of more rah-rah and you're like, yo no quería entender eso que me decían, like, the older cats. Like, now I understand and I take it for what it was, all the advice that I was getting. But, you know, when you're younger, you, like, you know, like I said, you kind of, like, you chesty. And I was so determined to be dope in everything that I did. And I thought, like, well, what is the flaw? Why are these dudes that are versatile better at one thing than the other? And I was like, well, I feel they put in more work into one as opposed to, like, fuck it. If you want to do it all, but do it all well, you know? You
know, there's a saying that people say, the jack of all trades, the master of none. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that's possible? That there's, because, okay, let me explain. Mm-hmm. I knew a guy that rapped.
Yeah.
And he was good. I'm not going to say he was great, but he was good. And then he got into production. And I noticed that he started lacking on his rap because he got more involved in his production.
Sí.
Then he got involved in engineering. And then he lacked on his engineering. And I mean, he lacked on his production and then on his rapping. And then before you know it, he started DJing. He got really, really good. And he said, I can do it all. But I didn't think he was great at either one.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I think that that's the more common thing, right? That's why that saying is.
Yeah.
But I think that it can be broken. I think that it's not law, you know, like
right.
like a lot of things. But obviously, to break that is going to take a different amount of work, right? Like not your regular, like, you know, I can kind of, I seen that Mike Tyson said some shit that really like, that I could really
made
relate
sense to you.
Yeah, which was something like to the effect of, like, there's a lot of special people. You know, there's a lot of people that are born with a gift, whether it's in the arts and whatever it is you do, obviously, in the arts and entertainment and anything, because it's more noticeable, right? Like,
yes.
The music in this case. And the way he was saying it was obviously like as an athlete, you have this special thing about you, but so it's you're able to do things easier. All that means is that to you it's easier to do things that to some people is damn near impossible, right?
Yes.
But now if you harness that and if you really put in the work, you know, te conformas with it, like, nah, I got this, you know, I could do this. And I think that there's a time and place in the journey where you need to be a certain type of way, you know, like that little chestiness that you have at the beginning of this journey is kind of needed too, because you don't need that shit to keep pushing, because to not take no for an answer, you know?
Yes.
But obviously with time and experience and age, everything comes where you kind of empiezas a saber cómo las cosas son de verdad y cómo usar, how to use the shit. So with that being said, like, I feel like you can be jack of all trades, master of all, but are you willing to put the work for that to be that? Because it's very fucking difficult. It's one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of shit that seem impossible, but if they don't seem impossible to you in your head, then come on in. But if you already have a doubt, if you're starting out with doubt, then it could get really tricky right there.
Yeah, I remember. It's funny you talked about Tyson, because there was another boxer that he was doing an interview. I believe it was Holyfield. You know, him and Holyfield had classic fights. And I believe in some interview, somebody asked Holyfield, when you stepped into the ring, I believe it was against el que le ganó Mike Buster Douglas, the guy who knocked out.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he said, when you were going in there, man, he goes, I'm not a boxer, so I have to ask you, did you really think you were going to win? And he said, did you think I was training to lose? Nobody trains to lose, bro.
Nah.
And like you said, si te entra en la mentalidad, bro, like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try. Cool, but you got to have that winner mentality, that determination, like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
I mean, you know, the like, you know, I mentor a lot of youngsters now in the game, which is kind of just happened by default. You know, a lot of people ask me for help, and then even though it could get overwhelming sometimes, and sometimes you tell yourself, like, man, when I'm in a position to help, I'm gonna help, and I'm gonna be one of those dudes that really replies to everybody. It's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because it is a fucking tough ass career to manage, as it is, right?
Yes.
But I try to do my best. And you know, and I also, if I see and I believe in the person, well, obviously I have a little bit more of a intuition to help, you know, but I'll give everybody an advice, even if it's for the worst, because sometimes you need to know right away what the fuck it is instead of wasting your time. Maybe this is not for you.
Yes.
You know, maybe you need to, like, and it's like sometimes, you know, where it gets kind of like tricky too is when people hit you with the whole, I feel like quitting shit, right?
Right.
And that could go either way. And sometimes, depending on my mood, I might just be willing to quit. Because,
of course,
because that is not a mentality that you need to have. That somebody no te va a ayudar para nada. You know, like, and I say so many things that I be like, look, it's gonna sound cliche and it's gonna sound corny, but it's real. I mean, that's why it's been repeated from generation to generation. Like the whole, you gotta believe in yourself first. You know, all of that shit is very real. Like, you 100% have to believe that you have it. And it's a it, you know, it's the it factor.
There is a it factor.
There is an it factor, and without the it factor, I'm not saying that it's impossible, because nothing is impossible. But you just got to be willing to put in more work. I mean, it goes back to the whole hard work always beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
Absolutely. Right? Can you say that again, bro?
Hard work always beats talent when talent doesn't work hard or is not willing to work hard, you know? And now, on the other hand of that shit, if you are talented, you got to immediately, I think, like, just common sense, be like, well, fuck, well, if I have the talent and if I put in the work, my percentage should be a little bit higher as far as, like I said, nothing's guaranteed. And the road is wild and it's going to twist and turn, and then you make decisions and all that shit plays a part. But at least I think that you have the talent, and if you're willing to put in all the work and you have the work ethic, then you have a fighting chance, and that's worth it, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Let me give you a couple of stories on what discouraged me, because discouragements will come in the game. Now, I started off as just being a DJ, and I got really good at being a DJ. I won battles before. And then I got into production. When I got into production, my hands got a little tied, simply because now, since I'm not a rapper and I don't write, I depend on rappers for me to make music, so that I can shop it. And we're talking about late 80s, early 90s, so we can get a deal. This is when they were giving out deals, okay?
For sure.
Here's my problem, and I can name 4, but I will not, okay? 4 rappers, and then you could kind of understand my discouragement. And I'm sharing these gems, if you will, for people that you are going to hit these walls every time, okay? I had 4 rappers, 4 different times, that when I say I found them, they weren't even trying to rap anymore. Like they didn't have that fire in them anymore.
Yeah, you brought them back to life.
Yes. I rekindled that fire, brought them to my crib. Les di algo de comer, algo de tomar. You just write, bro. Let me work on some fucking beats. As 6 months go by, their head starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They were punctual when they didn't have anything. Mm-hmm. They were hungry when they didn't have anything. Now, all of a sudden, I'm getting them shows. I'm going to get you 500 for at least 10 minutes. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to be real with you. I wasn't expecting anything, but after a while, they're like, well, how much do you want? And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, a manager will get 20%. So just give me 20%. He goes, damn, man. You see, I'm really trying to make it. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I wasted my motherfucking gas. I wasted my fucking electricity, my time, and I haven't got paid one single penny, and I'm getting you shows. And those were red flags already for me.
Yeah.
So here's what happens as doors start opening for record labels. Hey, man, you don't really need Tony. Hey, bro, my boy, you know, he's a lot doper producer. Goes to another party. Hey, man, you don't really need Tony. Hey, man, you don't. And before you know it, hey, yo, I'm going to have to cut ties with you. Same story, 4 different rappers. Same story. They all left, and nothing ever became of them. Why? Because many of those guys believed their own hype. They weren't there yet. You know, that's why I always tell rappers, bro, it's hard for me to work rappers, because I do believe they need, number one, be coachable, stay humble, bro. Stay humble. You know, talk your shit on the mic, but stay humble.
That's key. I literally had that conversation with some kids last night that were at the studio that they're here like to meet with some labels, and you know that they're in a good position. It's a great opportunity, and I think that that's the most important time to have somebody give you some kind of advice on something, because you get lost in the sauce really quick, right?
Real fucking quick.
And like there was this artist. She's the daughter of like a really big known artist, right? And
Yeah.
she always wanted to I mean, when you love this shit, you love it, right? But the business could scare you away from it. But without learning the business, then it's just going to be a hobby for the rest of your life, which is fine if that's what you want it to be.
Right.
But if you want to eat off of it, then you have to deal with the business, which is the ugly side of it, you know? But you can maneuver to where, like, it's like, I've always said this, like, when I first came into the industry, I put my toe in there where I was kind of like meeting people, or at least started going to meetings. I mean, la raza me decía, like, ¿cómo le vas a hacer, güey? Because, like, you know, you come from a place where it's all about being real. It's all about, you know, there's repercussions for lying, for being fake, for not being a stand-up dude. And then you go in an industry where that shit is just, it runs fucking rampant, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that shit never scared me, because throughout my life, whether it was school, whether it was work, whatever the fuck I was involved in, I always hung out with the people that were more like-minded.
Yeah.
So siempre nos encontrábamos, and then we made it work, right? Now, as far as what you just said, this is one thing that I think I figured out a while ago that should work or could work for you as far as keeping your feet planted on the ground. I think for some of us, and I think that I was blessed that I had a humble and a difficult upbringing, but I'm very fucking grateful for it now. Like, without that, what I'm doing now would not be.
Yes.
You know, right? Because there's things that you just learned a huevo, and that shit you don't forget.
Yes.
So with that being said, this girl, one time I remember the first show that she had that she was going to perform, and I was performing at the same place too. So we were backstage, and she was getting like nervous, and you know, and it happens to everybody. Even when I'm there telling everybody to chill out because I'm supposed to be, you know, more experienced,
right.
I'm still feeling the shit, but I know was the right thing to do and say.
Right.
So I tell her like this, I was like, look, this is how I figure it should be. When you're on stage, yeah, feel yourself. Be chesty. You know, people are paying to watch you perform. They don't want to see a regular-ass person right there. They want to see the person that they look up to. And you're going to do your best performance when you're feeling yourself. You know, it's like you get in the booth and you close your eyes and you turn off the lights and you become this person, right?
Yes.
I was like, the key is to be able to deflate your chest and your head as soon as you get off that stage. When you come down those steps and you finally hit the floor again, make sure that those motherfucking feet are well planted again. No que te empiezas you know,
yes.
to start losing el piso, pues, and you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right. It's not always going to be perfect, and we're all human, and we're all going to make mistakes. Another thing about that is, like, I think the mistakes thing, I mean, and it's like with music, right? And like I said, I speak to a lot of these youngsters about this type of shit, where it's like, artists are just emotional beings by fucking nature, because you have to be very passionate to think that you can make it in this shit. It's
right.
pa' locos, right? So you have to be a little bit off, but come on in if you with it like that, right? So you're gonna deal with emotions, especially that whole thing like, oh man, you know, like my career and I don't have no help and all these excuses, right? Like, yeah, it's okay to feel them, but you need to snap out of that shit as fast as possible. And also learn how to eventually just cut it out from the fucking root. Like, as soon as you start, ya te la sabes. Like, it's either you're going to want this and you want to do it or you don't, you know?
Right,
At the end of the day. It's a simple decision the decision is going to carry a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's a simple decision. Do you want it or not?
Yeah, and you know, one thing, Bobby, that I also want to talk about that I think a lot of people in this industry don't talk about is be careful how, in this business, whether you're a rapper, singer, producer, musician, podcaster, or whatever, when you go to an event, you know, whether it's a club, whether it's a house party, whether it's a concert, whatever, be careful how you treat people, because you never know who you might be talking to.
Oh, that's. I mean, like I said, there's just so many things, right, that have to be working.
Yes.
In harmony with each other. That obviously, if you're telling somebody this is why I do it, because I speak the truth. It's not to scare people away. It's because if it doesn't scare you away, then it's for you.
Yes.
But if it scares you away, then it might not, and you might want to, you know, rethink the shit because it's real. Right. And that's just like I've already got to live a lot of this shit, you know?
Yes.
And for sure, I've already met people in my life that were above me and that treated me right. and that, you know, at some point I did this, and I look out for them, and vice versa. There's people that I looked out for, and then they did their thing, and I go somewhere and I'm treated very well by them. So the shit works, you know. It's clockwork, and not always. It's like how you were saying about those 4 dudes, right?
Right.
That can be very discouraging, right? And I manage also, and I develop and all kind of shit. So you can imagine that I went through shit where I put in a lot of motherfucking time and effort. And the thing is, like, what's not worth it is, like, to me, is like, I don't let it discourage me to a point where, like, I just don't believe anymore, right? I always take everything as a lesson, and I feel like this. In life, siembra semillas, right?
Sí.
You reap what you sow, right? Siembra semillas. But no todas se van a dar, obviously, right? Most of them no se van a dar. Pero las que se dan bien.
Sí.
And they're worth the 100 that que sembraste y te dan 4. Those are worth all the other motherfuckers that didn't. And what happens with the other ones is that you learn. You feel me? Because las que no se dan, well, at least you figured it out fast enough to not waste more of your time.
Yes.
And that's kind of the way I go about it, you know, because pues sí va a haber muchas situaciones where you're going to feel like that.
Right.
Because especially when it becomes a very lonely fucking road.
Very.
Because one day you realize, like, fuck, nobody really wants it as bad as I do, even though everybody screams it out.
Yes, I know. Let me give you one example of why I say be careful how you talk to certain people. There was an artist from Arizona. It was 1993, and me and High C, second to none, were performing with this group, and they were hot out of Arizona, okay? And a female was in there. She rapped. She was a part of the group. And she was talking to High C, the rapper that I DJ'd and produced for. Oh man, I love your producer's work. I love what he did. I would like for him to do some stuff. She's talking very highly of me. For some reason, she didn't know what I looked like. Okay, she didn't know who the hell I was. So our dressing rooms were right next door, and I told High C, I said, "Hey man, we don't even got no fucking water, no sodas in here." And he said, "Oh, they put them all in the next room." I said, I'm going to go over there. He goes, yeah, go over there because homegirl really wants to talk to you. But High C didn't know that she didn't know what I looked like.
Uh-huh.
So I walked in there. Now, keep in mind, they're all black. I walk in there and I said, hey, I just wanted to be courteous. I could have just grabbed it. But I said, you guys mind if I get a soda and the water? And the girl looks at me and she goes, do you got any money? And I said, for a soda? For like water? And she goes, yeah. And I go, no. And then she goes, then shut the fuck up and close the door.
La verga.
Yeah, so I just left it there, and I walked out. They didn't say nothing. So they went ahead and performed. We performed, they didn't go out. They were headlining. After the show, she went up to High C and said, I want to meet your producer. I want to work with him. And he goes, Tony, come here. I go, what's up? He goes, this is so-and-so. She wants to work with you. And I said, I'm good. Because she should have treated me right the first time.
Shot herself in the foot.
Yeah. That's why I always tell people, be careful, because you never know who you're talking to, who you could be mistreating. You know, treat the janitor the same way you would shake hands and treat with the president.
And you know what? You play it safe like that too, because and obviously it's so much better if that's just you. If that's just how you get down already, then cool. You don't got to switch it up. You know, like that's one thing that also that I think is not spoken about as far as the journey. You know, there's, like I said, there's just a long ass list of things that have to be working for you for the shit to work.
Yes.
So the least you could do is like that. Just treat people right. Just treat people right. I mean, don't get ran over or like, you know, like, you know, also know when to stand your ground and shit like that.
Absolutely.
But pick your battles. You know, pick your battles because a lot of shit like that, for example, you know, like una pendejada where you just feeling a certain way and then you open your fucking mouth, like everything you speak and goes out into the universe, you know, it comes back one way or another.
Entonces, esas son semillas. They're going to grow.
Sí. You know, you got to be very careful, like las palabras salen caras, you know?
Sí.
Las palabras salen caras, so it's like, sometimes you need to just shut up. You know, I remember a situation when I was a youngster and I was in the backyard with my homies. Yo siempre era muy callado because that's how it is, like where I'm from. Like I'm from a little fucking ranchito in the fucking top of a mountain in Michoacán. Sí. Y la gente siempre así, era muy seria. You know, los hombres eran muy hombres and everything was like anything that wasn't the hombres, you were checked since you were a little kid. And I'm so grateful for that now. Right. At some point I used to think like, God damn, there's a motherfucking dictatorship.
Yeah.
But I appreciate. I grew to appreciate it. Right.
You were taught discipline at a young age.
Yeah, and that shit is so important, and because then you get entitlement, like you were saying earlier, how like these guys you're helping them, and the worst thing in the world is when like what you've done, but you like it's like you spoil people rotten, and it's like how you could do it to little kids and all that shit, and it's sometimes hard, right? Because people try to use the whole thing of like, well, I want them to have what I didn't, but you're not doing them a favor though. Like when it comes to life,
very true.
When it comes to surviving in the real world. Pero pues es parte del show,
Yeah. Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about, before we turn it over to the phone calls, let's talk a little bit about this Grammy thing. When is this going down, and what were you feeling, man, when they called you to the head on, you got nominated?
I'll be honest, I am, so like the anticipation the days before, because it's like a thing, right, where like, especially people that are like very, very into already, like ya que están trabajando en la industria, they go to these things, and mind you, I have been going to the Grammys. I've been going to the Latin Grammys for maybe 10 years now.
Uh-huh.
And I do not still really know why I went the first time, because I had nothing to do there. But I used to feel this urge to like be where I needed to be at, right? Like to chase the industry that I'm trying to get into. And I'll tell you the story of the first time, because I'll tell it to you one day. But
okay.
But I went there and I figured it out, and it was mission impossible like a motherfucker, because if it's hard to get into just a popping club, let's say, you can imagine how hard it is to get to a Latin Grammy after party, to a Sony party, to a Universal party.
Yeah.
It was wild. And what got me in was a seed that I had planted a long time ago, which is a whole other story, right?
Okay.
Now, you could imagine me going from like, it was very difficult to get in, second year still, third, but I figured it out every year and I networked, And then eventually, when I was signed to Sony, was the first year that I was really invited to go to these things. So that felt crazy in itself.
Right.
Now, so everybody was like, hey, the nominations are this day like at 6 a.m, and people literally stay up to watch the nominations.
Yeah.
But I've never been like that. Yeah, I kind of like, I focus on my work and I let shit happen how it's going to happen. I don't like to be too like, the anticipation sometimes is not, I don't fuck with it like that, because I'm going to just keep working. I'm going to just keep working. Las cosas se van a dar y van a pasar because of hard work. And I also have mentally prepared myself for a lot of shit, to win and to lose,
Of course.
So that it won't be too drastic when either happens. So I think that's what happened to me, that like I was in my little creative spot that I have right here by downtown, and I ended up knocking out right there in the sofa, and I get a message at 6 a.m, like on the dot, and it was like a video recording of the nominations, and then it showed the album. And I started seeing people comment right there like, oh fuck, Bobby, congrats. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of woke up and looked at it like this, like like I had like a little grin. But I just turned on my phone because I started getting mad messages, and I just went back to sleep, I went back to sleep. When I woke up, I knew that I'm also not going to be a fucking, like, I appreciate the people congratulating me, but I go into this mode, and my whole life I've been like that. When I have some kind of, like, accolade, some kind of win in my life, like, I go into this fucking focus mode because I know what it is. I know that there's only more work to do.
Yes.
I'm scared of getting comfortable.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I think like I just kind of like I just took it. I to this day I have not let it hit me, and purposely though, like consciously I have not let it hit me, because just like I thought, of course, people start looking, people start calling, people like And to me, it's like I need to be more focused than ever, right? So that day I had sessions all day, and the people that I had the sessions with even messaged me too to congratulate me, and they were like, "Hey, we could cancel or ¿cómo se le llama? Reschedule,
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. I was like, the one thing I want to do today is work. I was like, I was like, today I want to be in the studio all day work. I want to do what I was gonna do already, you know, because. Also, this it's a good way to keep your feet planted on the ground. It's like to just do the work, like be grateful. Be very grateful. And trust me, I was very grateful. And there's been like people have taken me to eat. They brought me bottles, and I'm super grateful from all that. But I'm keeping it contained to a certain extent because, like I said, like por bien o por mal, is a way that I've trained myself through the years because it's been a long motherfucking journey.
Yeah.
And I've trained myself to just kind of stay, you know, like I said, there's days that I'm by myself and I feel it brewing. And I feel this emotion brewing because obviously I'm human and I've been doing this shit since I was a fucking kid. And I've been dreaming of these things since I was a kid. But I figure like I'll find the time and one day I'm gonna let it all out and you know.
Right.
And maybe when I'm in Vegas and if we end up winning, maybe I won't be able to contain, you know. And not on some shit like I'm gonna feel like I'm more than anything, but ahorita, por ejemplo, me hacen toda esa pregunta a todos. Everybody in the studios, all my colleagues, everybody was like, damn, how does it feel, you know? And I was like, I'm going to be honest, it does more for my mental and emotional health than it does for my ego. I'm going to tell you why.
Good.
Because to believe in something wholehearted your whole fucking life, there was no doubt. I never had a plan B. And imagine to one day realize, damn, this shit was all in my mind. Like, I'm not that good. I'm not that talented. This was not for me. I wasn't born to do this shit. That's gotta fuck with you like mentally and emotionally, gotcha.
Yes.
So when something like this happens in my life, it's more like a fucking breather. It's more like a breather, and it's also like it gives me more like me da más ánimos to keep going too, you know, because it's like, no, you sabes que no andaba meando muy afuera del agujero, like I wasn't wrong, you know, like. And also, it's a thing that I like I say, like I fuck with a lot of the youngsters right now because the youngsters are very versatile. It's different. They're very evolved. There's some things that maybe like the older generations don't respect or no shit, and it has more to do with that, with the respect of things and with the like doing things right and that shit, which can be taught because some people didn't have that. You know, they didn't have anybody to like to shoot them some clecha, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that before we judge, we should always try to shoot some clecha first, y si anda valiendo verga la persona after that, then you could be like, no, pues este vato nomás no agarra la onda y no vale verga. But
So when is the Grammys?
The Grammys is in November.
Okay.
It's like Grammy week, right? So it's like November 14th, that Monday, and then every day hay eventos and you know, certain companies have Spotify, Apple, they have an event, BMI, and you go and they're mixers. And it's wild, you know, because everything is motherfucking open bar and that shit could get. Yeah. But the network is great. And it's what you make of it, right?
Right.
It's what you make of it. I make sure that anytime I go to a networking event, do I turn up? Sometimes yes, because I mean, it's parte del show. But I make sure to get some kind of work done, to get some kind of deal going. Some kind of like, okay, ¿cómo vas a hacer ese rollo? No, ¿qué onda? ¿Estas rolas o cuándo nos vemos en el estudio? Once I set up something, then I'm a little bit more comfortable to kind of, you know, to mingle and chop it up and shit.
You said something that I think should be reiterated. You said, be careful. You're careful of not getting comfortable. Mm-hmm. There's another word that I'm looking for where people just like, okay, I'm cool.
It's called... como conformista, ¿no? Like como que te conformas.
Right. There's another English word, but I forgot the quote, but it says, you know what? It's okay to feel that way, but nothing ever grows there.
Yeah.
Nothing ever, because you're comfortable, you're relaxed. Mm-hmm. One thing that I've learned, especially just in life in general, but let me say this to a lot of rappers that may think that right now they're popular or they may be on top, and they get comfortable, like I can relax. I'm right now the shit that's popping. I'm the guy that's trending. Mm-hmm. Always remember, there's about 1,000 motherfuckers right behind you that could take your fucking place.
They're coming, man. They're coming.
They're coming, bro.
And it's not if for sure they're coming.
Yes,
they want that. You know.
Yes,
they need that.
So when you are getting comfortable and thinking, you know what, I'm cool right now, wrong move. You got comfortable. So you got to continue to work, just like what you're saying.
I mean, one of the things that gets me up every motherfucking day, and you know, I get a lot of messages from like, yeah, descansa, güey, you know, like you, and I listen, and obviously I'm like, you know, it's cool that people worry about that shit too, but in my mind I'm like, it's just not the time for that. Like,
right.
I know that there's a young Bobby Castro somewhere right now that's coming.
That's coming, bro.
That's
yeah,
coming, and that the hunger is wild, you know, like because the one thing that I've tried not to lose is that hunger.
Right.
You know, because that hunger, you even create differently without the hunger. I mean, we've all seen it. Our our favorite rappers or whatever, how their first album was just fucking amazing, and that's why we love this shit, and everybody became fans. And then you start seeing it watered down. Why? Well, shit, it's got to be hard to rap about the struggle or about the shit that people can relate to when you're not living that way.
You're not living that way, yeah. Especially like if you lived in Compton, your first album was pretty much created in Compton, and then you moved to Calabasas, and now what the fuck are you gonna talk about? Yeah. The long lines at Starbucks?
It's a thing that I think you have to, like I said, you got to prepare yourself mentally for the whole journey, because you got to know also that, do you want success? And with success comes dough, and then that's going to change your life. And you're not going to feel and talk about even age, right? Like there's just things that I don't condone that I was rapping about 10 years ago that I'm just naturally, I just kind of feel like, this is on my mind. That's like,
right.
I'm not really with that bullshit no more, right?
Right.
So it's like, you got to be prepared for that. Now, the way that I think the best way to kind of like, to deal with that is like this. Like, it has helped me, the fact that some people cannot write certain things no more, because then I get work. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the work that I was able to get was because dudes would literally say, like, I'm still in touch with real life. I'm still in touch with the people. I still, shit, it still is what it is. So maybe one day I'm going to need to fucking hire somebody because pues ya estoy bien yo, ya I'm not in touch no more with the real world, to puede decir like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to offer somebody some work, and then I see, it's a domino effect.
Let me ask you a question, man. Are you having fun?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
I love this shit.
What do you say to someone that's not having fun anymore?
Then you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
You're doing it wrong. This shit should be always fun. Like somebody told me that like how have I lasted so long being able to still create and kind of like evolve and keep up with the times, right? Because that's also very important. Like, you got to keep up, because then you're going to be a dinosaur. And the reason is because I still create like 8-year-old me, right? Like when I discovered music and I fell in love with it and I knew that is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, I've never stopped feeling that shit till this day. I've never let myself stop feeling that, no matter what, right? So like, I still create music. Like, if I was only doing it for me in a little fucking room with some busted ass equipment, and that I wasn't getting a fucking penny for it, I knew nobody was gonna listen to my shit. I did it for me, and that's the only guy that I ever want to impress is 8-year-old me, and I still do shit for that dude.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope that you say that. That means you have a young heart, you have a young spirit. It's like me. I'm an older fool, but you know what, man? I still want to film. I still want to have fun. I want to do all that shit. You start dying,
I think, when you don't do that, And I have a lot of homies that we clown, we fuck around, we have fun with this shit a lot in the music, and a lot of the engineers, the producers that I fuck with. And sometimes they ask me, they like, hey, wait, do you think that we're a little told to be? And I'd be like, hell nah. I was like, I think that the day that you start thinking like that is the day that you start dying, is the day that you start deteriorating, you got to live.
Let me ask you 2 more questions about 2 artists, okay? And then I just want your honest opinion. Mm-hmm. When I hear the dogging about it, but I just want to, have you worked or have their camp ever reached out to you, Jenny 6ix9ine?
Yes, I met her and her husband at the studio. There's a studio where she recorded, actually, the Soy 69.
Uh-huh.
There was a few guys, friends of mine, that were involved in that record. Mm-hmm. And I met her and her dude at the studio, and they were cool. And at one point, yes, they did ask me to write some stuff. And it's also like I've grown, like how we say, like, never say never, and never also speak up on anything like that pues que no te pertenece a ti hablar de eso, right? Sí. Because business is also business, and there's also alliances that you make, and there's also, like, for example, I got friends of mine, and like including you, for example. If one day you call me and you like, hey, Bobby, I got this project, or I got this dude and this, and maybe I don't know what it is, and maybe, like, because I'm gonna be honest, like, and I think that this is known about me in the industry, like, I kind of gotta fuck with the shit for me to work on it, for me to give you what you want me to give you. I gotta feel it. It's gotta be something that I'm fucking with. Now, have I done work that I do it because it pays the bills? Of course, too. Like I said, you got to pick your battles, Yeah. Do I prefer to do shit that I want to do? Yes. But the question that I ask my homies that call me for something is always this. If you call me, you tell me, like, hey, babe, I got this new artist, you know, and I kind of wanted to see if I don't really know what he does or anything yet, so I'm not invested in it in any way, what I'm gonna ask you is, are you asking me if I want to do it, or are you asking me to do it, right? And I have a list of friends that I already know when they're calling me to ask me for something is because they're asking me for the favor. And 99% of the time, I'm gonna just be like, for sure, I'm gonna pull up, you know, I'm gonna go do that for you.
Right.
Now, I also know when they're kind of just asking me, or sometimes it's like an unwritten rule, kind of like some of my homies, like, if you call me directly and you tell me like, hey, Bobby, you think you can fuck with me with this project, with this person? That's already you asking me for the favor. So if we have that relationship, I'm always pull up, you know?
Right.
Now, if you tell the person like, oh, if somebody gets at you, like they want to do something for me, and you tell them, no, well, here, you know, hit them up, then that's pretty much you telling me that it's up to my discretion. Like, hey, look, I gave this person your shit, but check them out, see if you want to fuck with it or not. And then at that point, I made my decision. But I don't ever premeditatedly think anything no more because there's just been situations that end up being a good thing that maybe I wasn't even fucking with it too heavy at the beginning.
Right.
So it's the moment, it's the timing, you know, timing, delivery, it's everything. Like cuando pasan las cosas.
Do you remember around the time she dropped that song, había una morrilla, no sé si era mexicana o no, but she was singing some stuff in Spanish, and she got highly criticized. But she was a young girl. She looked like me. Maybe she was 10, 11, 12 years old. I don't know if you remember her, bro. Le estamos tocando la guitarra todo. It was all in Spanish, man. And a lot of people critiqued her. And I remember I messaged her to try to encourage her. And I said, let me speak to your management, or if you have one, because I would like to book you for an interview. You know, and then my page got deleted. So I had to start off this page. So I never know whatever happened to her. But do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure. I know there was a few, but
like she was getting really popular for one song. You know, and I know it's hard because there's so many people.
Yeah, they come out. They very consistently
now. As far as Jenny 69, I know she dropped that one song. Numbers did great. I believe she was like number 1 at one point on YouTube.
No, yeah, she got it popping. And look, everybody can have their opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But at the end of the day, like we said, you know, like about the energy that you put out.
Right.
I try to keep it respectful as far as like, look, if somebody is doing something that is putting food in their plate and in their family's plate, then there's something about me that I can't knock the hustle, you know?
Right, okay.
As a musician and as a creator, yes, I have my opinions, and sometimes I look at something and be like, oh, what the fuck, or no mames, or whatever.
Right.
But I try to keep it short. I try to kind of check myself on that, where it's like, a ti que te valga verga, you know, you do what you do, and y cada quien que haga como le pueda hacer y que les vaya bien. You know?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Okay. I have to say a story. I watched the documentary called The Defiant Ones. I think, The Defiant Ones with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. Okay. One of my favorite songs from Dr. Dre was not on The Chronic. It was Dr. Dre in Surgery. I don't know if you remember that song.
Not too sure.
Okay. It was a fast up-tempo, like some he used to go, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dre. And then he started scratching. It was one of them fast Planet Rock up-tempo songs.
And that was after what?
No, that was the World Class Wrecking Crew.
Oh, okay. So
that was then.
Yeah,
that's where I became a fan of his and a DJ and a scratching DJ. And then when they asked him about that song in this documentary, this motherfucker should have just socked my ass in my face, because here's what he said. He said, you know, when I did that song and it came out, and even though it did good, he goes, I always thought it was whack. Now he's telling me that the song that he created was whack, and that's what made me a fan of him. Like, I'm like, ese mamon. If I ever interview his ass, I'm gonna let him have it for that shit. You know? But I guess what I'm saying is he created something that maybe it wasn't his cup of tea, but he knew that it would work for the public.
Yeah, and it happens. And it happens, you know, like it's something that you could sit there and try to study and figure out, and you just can't. I mean, you just do not know what's gonna work. Right. There's things that I've done, there's verses that I've written on my way to the studio, and you know, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I'm a little anal about shit being right, and because it's gonna be there forever, you know. And I've gone to the lab and dropped some shit that I literally wrote on the way there, because it was kind of like I just didn't have time before, or I was doing other shit, and I was like very like not like como te diré, like I would leave the studio feeling like kind of like, man, I don't know, like I was, like wanting to redrop it kind of.
Right.
And then the shit comes out, and then I get mad compliments on it, like, and that shit just blows my mind because there's things that I do that are very intricate and that have just twists and turns and everything is polished and everything. There's something about simplicity and even error that the consumer ear just consumes the fuck out of.
And that was one of the things that Dre told me. He said, simple sells. Simple sells, okay? Here's another one, okay? Tony G taught me this because I learned a lot from my guests. Tony G, Tony Gonzalez, much love, respect to him. Too, He told me, I work with a lot of, producers, a lot of rappers, and they all tell me, oh, yeah, this was going to be the next summer anthem. This was going to be, he goes, I work with plenty of those people.
Yeah.
He goes, you have no summer anthem. You have no hit. He goes, you don't say what the hit is. The crowd tells you what the hit is. It's the crowd, okay? So you can say, Bobby, we got it. No, bro.
Nah. I
it's
mean,
them.
I think that, like I said, in this journey, you have a bunch of those moments where you think you had it. And that also teaches you, some good lessons that you start kind of just being like, you know what, I'm not going to even be on that shit no more. I'm not even going to be on some shit like, I'm trying to create this fucking mega fucking anthem record. I'm going to just work, I'm going to just work and see, like, I have a friend named Brian that told us one day in Vegas, we're sitting at a table, it was they have a lot of networking events over there, like with the regional Mexican that we all go to. And he pulls up to the table and he's like, can I ask you guys a question? He was like, do you think you're able to tell what's a hit? And it was obviously a trick question. And at the moment, I think we all didn't put too much mind into it. We were more. It was more of an ego thing, I think, of thinking like, well, I do good music and I'm a good musician and I'm a good producer and I'm a good.
Right.
So yeah, I know what's a dope record, But he said a hit record.
A hit record, right? Yes.
And we all say yeah. And he was like, you guys are all liars. And he was like, because there's nobody can tell a fucking hit record. There's just no way to know.
No.
Until, like you said, it's going to be, it's because sometimes you could be, I mean, I know you've known and I've known some guys that are just extremely talented in what they do. And he just never got there. Never got the hit. Because they didn't have the connection with the people. Sometimes the connection with the people is more important than the talent itself.
Yeah. And let me say this to all the rappers and producers out there, okay? When I've gone to the studio, people say, man, listen to my shit. It's just about to fucking blow up. And I go, bro, everything sounds good loud. Everything sounds good loud. Turn it down. Put them on these NS10s. Let me hear it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Cool song, bro. A lot of rappers out there just have cool songs, no hits.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So think about that. Cool songs, no hits.
I mean, a lot of guys, they're a breakthrough song, and if you know the person personally, they'll tell you, like, they hated that song.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Okay. I created I'm Not Your Puppet when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Sitting in the park when I didn't know what I was doing. Another song called Leave My Crows Alone. On Power 106, we had 3 songs on the radio in 1 year. Our record went gold. I didn't know what I was doing, Bobby. I was learning, but I had an ear for what I wanted to do. I think this can work.
And it was organic, and that's what works, like I said, because see, we listen to the shit, right? Something that you do might be super dope to me because I know the work you're putting into it, and I know what you did to get that sound, and vice versa, right? So between musicals, between producers, sometimes we're like, damn, that shit was hard as fuck, right?
Right.
But the regular ear is not gonna give a fuck or listen to that, right? Hence why, like, there's like a lot of hit songs that I've actually like studied this. A bunch of hit-ass songs in different genres have been the song on the album that has some kind of error, some kind of mistake.
Right.
And there has to be something to that. There's something to that makes it human.
Right.
And that makes it human. And like I said, like the public, the consumer, they don't give a fuck about this little twist that we did at the end, this little this white noise that we used on this part, this to us is dope as fuck, and it still feels good, right? To to have the homies call you like, hey dog, I heard that shit that you said or that you did. But in reality, like I said, probably some of the most simple shit that I do, and that, trust me, it kind of irks me when I have to simplify some shit. I know, because that's not how it works. But sometimes that when I've done it for whatever reason, because of time constraint, or because of whatever the project was, the shit works, you know?
One example, we did a show, I believe we were in Wisconsin. Do you remember that rapper MC Breed, Ain't No Future in Your Front?
Yeah.
Classic song, okay? I only had one conversation with him, rest in peace, because I believe he passed away in 1996 or maybe 97. Well, what happened was I was in the room with him, me and Heisey and him, and he was playing us some stuff that he had. Of course, none of it sounded like Ain't No Future in Your Front, okay? Quick walks in, brings in a cassette. We still had cassettes back then. Man, I'm working on this. Listen to the way I tweaked the hi-hat. Yeah, I what is it? I ran it, what is that effects? A tremolo when it goes from speaker to speaker.
Pan,
okay. Automated pan. And he goes, and then I tweaked the tam, and I got this, I added 2 fucking snares. We just thought the song was okay. So then he leaves. And I remember MC Bree goes, man, ain't no Future in Your Front was just a loop of more bounce and funky one from Ohio players and me saying, I never got caught with a kilo, and if it never did, it will never be with me, yo. Double platinum song, bro.
Yes.
Simple sell.
It knocks to this day.
Still knocks to this motherfucking day, bro. He didn't have to tweak the snare and the. Anyways, sometimes we can all try and guess what a hit is, but none of us know, bro.
Nah, it's impossible to know. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of dope shit. There's shit that I've heard that maybe, in my opinion, should have been a hit,
Yeah.
and that I think is very beautifully fucking made. But we don't get to decide that shit,
Yeah, the fans do. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and put the number up, Alex. We're gonna go ahead and put the number up, and then we're gonna let people start making some calls. People, please call with questions for Bobby pertaining to music. You can ask him what type of guitar he has, type of beer he drinks. Does he work on automated boards? Does he, what does he plan to wear to the Grammys or whatever? But go ahead and call. And we got the phone lines open. And I always like to say, if you got the balls, make the calls. So let's see. And let's see. Let's put the headphones on. Let's go. We got a call. Okay. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
What's up, fellas? It's the Snowman from San Pedro.
The Snowman from San Pedro.
Question for Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Shoot.
So I've been to San Jose, the Bay Area. I noticed a lot of people from Michoacan there. What is it that they put in the water or the food there that gives those people the hustle, the grind, to just go outside and just hustle and work hard?
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because the other day I was talking to one of the homies, and I told him, obviously it's I'm biased on it, right? Because that's where I'm from, but I've been meeting so many like entrepreneurs through the music thing, because in the music game, there's a lot of friends of the music that are sponsors and everybody likes music, So when there's dough and you're able to be in backstage and in the shit, well, you're gonna be there, right? And I've met a bunch of Michoacanos that are just, that they came from nothing and that they're on, like these dudes are going to the World Cup,
Yeah.
And they speak about these things and what I can say as far as like my experience from when I lived there, it's that over there, for example, if I was doing my daily chores, which it was like we all had them, like a huevo, you had to go get leña, you had to go whatever it was that you had to go do on a daily basis, you have to do it.
Yes.
Rápido y de buen modo, right? There was no complaining. And even though when you were done and somebody else and you're walking by and a friend of yours or don whatever was right there fixing his fucking cerco de piedra or whatever, it was second nature to just pull up and help.
Yes.
It wasn't like they didn't have to force you to go do it. Like it was almost like it was uncool to not do it. Right. And it was very normal to do it. Like if it was me and a couple of my homies over there that were walking down the brecha and we saw somebody working on their land right, that we were already done with our shit, but we still all ran over there like, ¿Qué onda? Tenemos un paro? I think my shit got disconnected right there. And I think maybe that plays a part, that plays a part that you're raised with that mentality of like you gotta work. Like to be a huevón over there, it was very frowned upon, like
of course.
That person was probably worse than a fucking drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a fucking huevón, andabas valiendo verga, like you were not a man, you know what I mean?
Period.
And that shit'll fuck around and get you banned from the rancho over there. So I think maybe that plays a part, like as far as like why the grind is so tough.
Very true, because you were raised with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I noticed there's some hustlers out there,
Yeah, I have family
Michoacán.
up there too. Like, there's literally towns over there that is like Little Michoacán for sure.
Second question. Fat Joe's been saying that the next artist that's going to be big is going to be a Latino artist. I think that's Bad Bunny already. I'm not a huge fan, but just as far as how he did it his last performance, I think that that's the artist Fat Joe's talking about. A lot of artists also cross over to like country music. What defines corridos? This is my last question. What type of beat or what defines a corrido? And with that, I'm out.
Well, a corrido originally, it's a ballad about a person. The original corrido was born during the revolution, right? During the Mexican Revolution. Y se le cantaba a las personas valientes, obviously at the time revolutionaries. You know, some guy that did some extraordinary shit on the battlefield, a general, a person. A lot of those guys came literally, they were not trained, you know. They were I had, you know, hermanos de mi bisabuela, mi bisabuelos de Afat, and these guys till this day they're very like revered in our family, like these dudes.
Right.
I mean, in all revolutions in history, I think people that fight in that are fighting with their heart.
Yeah.
And that's hard to beat, right? So with that being said, the original corrido un corrido era una canción dedicada a una persona valiente. They were always real. That was the difference, because people try to compare it to like gangster rap, right? Like corridos are
right.
gangster rap. The only difference is that corridos were always a true story.
Right. Hold on. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'll let you finish. Caller, you there?
Yeah, Tony?
Yes. Where are you calling from, brother?
Hey, what's up? It's Jay from City of Ontario.
What's up, my brother? I'm sorry to cut you off, Bobby.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, brother. You got a question?
How you doing, Bobby?
I'm chilling. What's good?
Yeah, I just it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny with the comments with the shots. The LA and the IE fools are going at it for no reason.
Oh, that's just humor, bro. They do that all the time.
Yes.
No, I was just giving you guys a call because I've been following your channel since day one when you started, and I just want to give you your props. And you too, Bobby. I've been listening to your music on YouTube recently. I didn't even know, but keep it up, brother. Like, that's real good.
Good looking out. Appreciate it.
All good, man. Thank you, man.
No problem. Take care, Tony.
You too, brother. Norbert, do me a favor. Bring me to Pacífico, por favor, y la tequila que está allá. Pégale ese güey. Anyways. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
It's the homie Kiko from the city of Escondido.
Kiko from the city of Escondido. ¿Cómo estás?
No más, carnal. First and foremost, buenas noches to you and to Bobby.
Buenas noches.
The question is pretty much like, there's such a thing as like a person playing their position, right? Like whether you're either going to be like the face, the artist, or, you know, you're going to be the engineer or the producer, whatever the case may be. My question, más que nada, viene like, since he's like you said, a jack of all trades, does he like, does the end goal, like, does he want to be like, put his face on the product, or does he rather like want to have a role of like being the Wizard of Oz, like working behind the scenes?
I think you got to be willing to play whatever position it is going to be that's going to make your team win. You know, for example.
Yeah, but por ejemplo, like, ¿qué es lo que tú quieres? Like, do you want to be the one in the front, or like, do you don't care how you get yours and shit as long as you fucking have a position to play?
Yeah. No, I don't care. My goal has always been longevity. So I was always willing to play whatever position, because I think that a lot of things have crumbled as far as like things that were looking good. And I seen it in like where somebody was not willing to take that back row sometimes. And if that person would have just been willing to use their experience to help everybody else, they could have won. But it's a tough thing. You know, it's a tough thing for somebody that all your life you wanted to be an artist, you wanted to be a star, you wanted to be the guy on stage. And a lot of people, they go through depression and they just can't let it go. Like me, a mí pasó al revés, la neta, because at some point I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna just be in the back scenes. I'm gonna produce, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna manage, develop, whatever it is. And I was happy doing that shit because, like I said, my goal was longevity. I just wanted to stay doing what I love to do for the rest of my life and be able to eat off of it. And when I was in the process of like accepting that, right, because I mentally prepared myself to accept the fact that maybe I wasn't going to be the front guy, because I think that hits people really hard when they realize que se te pasó el pinche tren. To me, I've always been very realistic, so I was like, nah, se me pasó el tren verga. Like, I'm going to jump into another motherfucking train, and then I'm going to be really good at this. But I got signed right when I... ¿Cómo?
No, sorry, te pusiste verga si te funcionó tu plan, dog. Like, much props to you for that shit, dog.
Gracias. No, es lo que decir, las cosas te van a llegar, nomás no puedes rajar leña, le tienes que echar chingazos y las cosas van a llegar como tienen que llegar, porque a mí, I got my first fucking major deal with Sony when I was only songwriting and producing and doing all the, like, I was straight already. Even when I got offered to be signed to like the Riveras, which are the first people that signed me to Linea Music, I remember I told Juan Chales, like, the first time I was like, nah, I'm straight, I don't really want to be a star no more. I don't want to be an artist no more, because es una putiza, la neta. Sí. Es una putiza, and I was like, I was kind of comfortable, like just writing at my spot and creating and just emailing shit out, sending shit out, you know. Pero pues tampoco, si te llegan las oportunidades, pues también tienes que brincarle, you know, because at the end of the day, you're not only cutting yourself short, but everybody else that you can help through that. Yeah.
Excuse me. One more thing, dog. Una pregunta más, güey. Like, when it comes to, like, the industry and all that shit, like, no they say that on the way to success or to be involved in, like, those circles and shit, like, se miran muchas joterías o chingaderas de esas, güey. Like, ¿a ti no ha tocado ver nada de eso?
Es como todo, güey. Es cada quien. Tú dejas que las cosas... It's where you put yourself at, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure we all grew up, like, let's say in school or in the neighborhood environment or at work. Pues, if that's not what you're into, tú te haces pa' un lado, you know? And then eventually you go into your little circles, and your immediate circle becomes people that you fuck with, that fuck with more with like the way your upbringing was. Y así le haces, y pues es de... La neta, yo no he visto nada raro, and I've been blessed that la neta, pues, de venir, coming from the bottom and really coming from the bottom, and people have a certain respect for it. You know, once you kind of put a little toe in the game, people be like, te enseña respeto, and I think that it's more difficult, the struggle is more real, but it's more fulfilling at the end, and you deal with a lot less bullshit because you already dealt with the bullshit before. So ya te debe, the life already owes you. Sí. You know, so I think that I've been able to really have a pretty cool, de que it's a struggle, and it's a sacrifice like a motherfucker, but now, you know, you could pick and choose kind of what you want to be involved with, and si es algo que no es tu rollo, you just stay away from it, you know?
Yeah. All right, well, muchas gracias. And is there any more, like, Rancho Ibarra coming out, or is that it for just that record that you put out a while back?
We have stuff already that we haven't released that for sure we're going to release. We might be doing like a him doing his own album, maybe my own album, so... It's all in the talks, you know, es de sentarnos y platicar bien qué se va a hacer. Things change very fast, you know, in everybody's career. And I think you got to kind of just acomodarte a how things are going to you and try to capitalize on your current situation, you know?
All good, caller. Muchas gracias, carnal.
Hey, thanks for the time, guys.
Ya está, carnal.
Okay, let's go. I got to call somebody because somebody wants to talk to you. It's a surprise call. Okay? So, a ver.
Hello.
Hola, buenas noches. Who's this?
This is Killer Rosa.
What's poppin'?
Is Bobby there?
Yeah, he's right here. He's eating Domino's pizza with everything.
Yeah, kind of shit.
Damn, you bought him pizza. You don't give me shit when I go see you.
All good. So how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm so happy that I saw Bobby was being interviewed tonight, or you guys were making calls or taking calls. I just wanted to tap in and say what's up, and yeah.
That's good, Bob. You got anything you guys working on? Anything?
Yeah, we got some things.
Well, speak on it a little bit, brother.
I mean, Rose is very like
secret.
Top secret on this
okay,
project, but it's cool. I think people are gonna like it. It's like it's been very and I think I've been like really lucky to like most people that I work with, and I think because empezamos así como cuando alguien trabaja conmigo, there's already like a predetermined relationship there without knowing. Like I think that people kind of know me without knowing me yet. Yeah. And so it's always been very smooth, like the transition to start working.
Like the vibe, the connection, the chemistry. There's something there.
Yeah. It's a toda madre, you know. So Yeah, we got some things. We got some things cooking up right there with Rose.
Yeah, I'm really thankful. I just met Bobby like not too long ago, but we honestly got close pretty fast, and he's like big brother vibes. So I'm really appreciative of you, Bobby, and I'm super excited for our project. And Tony, you're gonna love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Gracias por la confianza.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it drops, come back and we'll take some calls on it.
All day, let's do it. I just wanted to say what's up, and I'm just Bobby, you're amazing, and
Thank you.
Tony, I will be back.
All good. You stay blessed, my sister, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's go, callers. Let me see. Okay, right here.
Do you take your shot already?
I sip on mine, bro. Pero salud.
Salud.
A ver, sí. Ahí está. So. Okay, let's see, because we missed like about 10 phone calls. That's why I always tell people, get straight to your question, because a lot of people, they want to have a conversation, bro. And I get it. And some people get mad at me. Tony, you're fucking rushing the callers. Bro, calm the fuck down. I always say one question. Dude's got a line full of questions, bro. So anyways, if anybody wants to call right now, go ahead and call. If not, we're just going to go ahead and continue this conversation. But now, as far as the Killer Rosa stuff, if I could ask, is this an EP? Is this an album? Is this a single?
You know what we started? We started with una rola así como pues, regional mexicano stuff, okay. And we're working on that. And then in the process, we all become a family, where we work at, especially like with my immediate group of people that I work with. Most artists that come and meet all of us, because we're always at the studio.
Uh-huh.
You got to
call? Yes. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Man, my name is Gonzalo from Santana.
Gonzalo from Santana. Santana in the building, my brother. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Starting to get a little buzz right now.
I'm at work.
Oh, don't let the supervisor see you.
Nah, everything's cool, man. I want to give a shout out to you guys, man. Keep it up. You guys are doing really well. I got a quick question for Homeboy.
A ver.
During your journey, what would you, how would you, like, switch up the mentality, like, when you're like, kind of discouraged off from what you're trying to get to?
One of the, at least that it worked for me, and it's one of my, like, secrets was that one day when I realized that probably the people the closest to you, off top, the only people that could harm you really and that could hurt you are the people that you love, right? Starting with family and close friends.
Right.
When I realized that everybody else's doubt had nothing to do with me, and I was able to turn all the negative shit, I was able to redirect that energy and just make it be gasoline for me. Sometimes I couldn't get enough of it at that point. I wanted more people to doubt me because that shit made me go harder. So I think it has to do a lot with redirecting the energy with, like, at the end of the day, you don't need nobody to believe in you more than you. Does it help and does it give you a push when people start believing in you? Sure, but you only need you. Like if you believe it and if you think you could get it, then you could get it. Like, I remember the day exactly when it happened to me. Like, I had just got back from an all-nighter. And, the family be, like, on that shit, like, nah, well, ya mejor que se agarre un trabajito. Like, they think that it's a hobby. They think that you chasing your dream or your personal legend is just something que se te va a pasar. But you only know that it's not that. You know what it means to you. And I remember the day that I got back and that I overheard some things, from the family, like, saying, like, man, he's just wasting his time, that type of shit. I remember I was going to let it fuck with me. Yeah. And instead, I just smiled. And I grinned because only I knew what I was doing. Only I knew the response that I was getting from my work, from real people, the people that were really in the industry that were already started noticing my work. So to me, I was like, it's cool. It's going to be, at the end of the day, the win ain't that great if you don't go through that, because if you were to just get it from right now to tomorrow, then how great is really the triumph? As opposed to having to go through these things. That's why I respect the fuck out of the process. I think that the process is the most important thing because we all want to get put in the game, right? Nobody wants to sit on the bench,
right?
But when you sit on that bench, you learn a lot. And the thing is that you want to get put in the game, but the day you get that opportunity and that the coach tells you to, to go in, you better score a
Hell yeah.
triple-double. You better do your work because. So it's better to respect the process and to be ready. And in my experience, that's what it was. That every step of the way, I had already went through so much that when I got to these places where the opportunity was real, it was like second nature to me, and that was a big blessing in disguise.
That's what's up, man. Thanks for those words, man. You have a way of encouraging people, and I just wanted to ask that question.
Thank you, my brother.
I'll let you guys be. I know most people are gonna call.
Okay, brother. Thank you. I'm gonna answer this call. I don't even think this guy knows I'm even live, but I'm gonna answer it. Yo, what's up?
How you living, man?
I'm blessed, brother. Do you know that you're live right now on Roadium Radio?
Oh wow, we out here. That's what's up.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
MC Wicks, man. You know what it is.
MC Wicks, calling from where?
Fresno, California, man. Fresno, California.
What's up, my brother? You know what? You want me to hit you up after the show?
No, it's all good. I just wanted to tap in, man. I hope all is well. And I got a new album out right now, MC Wicks, Vivid Visions. Go stream that everywhere.
All good.
And I got to make my return, man. I hit you up. I'm going to be back in your area soon. So
let's do that.
We'll make something happen.
All right, Wicks. We'll talk soon, homie.
Peace.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Big Tone, this is your boy Javi G from Colorado.
Javi G's always on bagging all the good shit, homie. I'm right here chilling, homie.
Yeah, you and Bobby here. I just wanted to ask Bobby, have you ever dealt with any sort of people telling you to like steer different from what you're doing now?
Yeah,
or
all the
you know
time.
what I mean? Like, oh, this way could be better or something like that, and you just stood your ground and did what you did. Just a simple question like that, my brother.
That for sure that always plays a part, and at one point, especially like on the regional Mexican side of things, I was for sure like the oddball because I also always did hip hop, and I was heavily influenced by like the culture, the LA culture. Now it's super intertwined, but you got to imagine that a few years back it wasn't, and it was almost frowned upon. This is what I learned from that at one point I started becoming stale because I started listening, rightfully so, to the guys that had 30 years in the game, 20 years, and I was just grateful to be able to sit down with these people, and chop it up with them. But then it started not feeling right at some point when they were kind of just containing me and telling me like, no, it's okay, you're doing too much, you'll be trying to do, you're too experimental, you're too this, you're too that. I started listening to them and I started losing myself, right? So then one day I did a social experiment and I invited all of them to a session. I was sitting at a table with them, and instead of just being a yes man and always just whatever they told me, I would just be like, oh, okay. I'd be like, I feel like doing this. Like, nah, we don't think you should do that shit. That's a little bit too, los medios te van a tragar vivo, the media's not going to fuck with you. And I'll be like, all right. But that one day I was just like, nah, you know what? I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak my truth. And I've told them like, well, you know what? I never wanted to come into this to just conform to something. I want to leave a legacy, right? And that's, I think, as an artist, you got to make your mind too. Like, do you want to be rich and famous? Do you want to just eat off of this shit? Or do you want to leave a legacy? Now, if you want to leave a legacy, you're signing up for some way other shit. The shit's already very difficult. And then you're adding a whole nother some way more sacrifices and difficulties to it. But I toughed it out, right? What made me tough it out was that when I told these people that have been in the game for so long, I told them this is my thoughts. I want to do this, and I think that now, the shit is evolving, and it should be like this. And they all agreed with me in 3 minutes. So to me, it was like, if I'm able to convince these dudes in 3 minutes that what they've been doing for 30 years is not the way to go anymore, then I got to trust me, and I just I bet it on myself.
Hell yeah. That's
good.
What's up, dog.
For sure.
That's what's up, my homie. Gracias.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Thank both you guys.
Yes, sir.
Much love to you, Tony. Much love to Bobby. Keep doing what you're doing. Follow on Bagging on YouTube. Love you guys. 100.
All right. Norbert, do me a favor. Get him his guitar, please. Just put it close to him, por favor. Okay. Do me a favor. His guitar. Guess your boy. Anyway, caller, your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Miguelito's Tattoos on Instagram.
Miguelito's Tattoos on Instagram. Go ahead and give yourself another plug, bro.
Hey, did you guys hand that guitar to your guest, to Bobby?
The what?
Yeah.
The guitar.
Yeah.
Where's Bobby's guitar?
Oh yeah, he's about to spit right now, just like Richie Valens, homie. But hasta
See,
mejor.
you already know what time. See, you already know why I'm calling, Tony, eh?
Absolutely, bro. Go ahead, bro. You got a request?
All right, Bobby. My request is if you can bust a freestyle on top of your head right now for Roadium Radio with your guitar.
I'm gonna see what I can do right now.
Okay. See what he can do. Now, you talking about a freestyle? You talking about like a spit, like a verse, or are you talking about some Spanish singing shit?
Whatever whatever he has on top of his head right now, he can hear it. We can't hear it, but he can hear a sound on his head. I said, "Hey, man, this is what I'm gonna bust out right now for Roadium Radio."
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out. I'm gonna be honest. The more that I've been in this game, the more I've kind of lost the whole freestyle thing because I'm obviously I go in the studio every day and I create. And I put a lot of thought into it, so I kind of that shit was my thing though. When I was first started, that's what it was, right? I freestyled every fucking thing I did, and you know, it's I think it evolved into more of a like songwriting and real songwriting.
It's all good.
Pero we'll give it a shot.
It's all good. All right, carnal. Thank you, man. Appreciate you,
all right.
Ahí estamos.
Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, Box. I just read your message. Go ahead and call right now. Let's see. Okay, well, somebody else called. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
What's up? This is Jesse. I'm calling from OC.
Jesse from OC.
And I had a question for you, Tony.
Yes, sir.
So the question was, would you ever do an interview with Mr. Vic from Stainless Steel?
Vic from
heard about him?
Famous Steel?
Stainless Steel, yep.
Honestly, bro, I'm not even sure who that is, bro. What is he? Is he a rapper?
You should check him out. Yeah, he's a rapper. You should check him out.
Okay. Vic from Famous
And then
Steel.
For Bobby Castro, keep doing your thing. I see you representing for the Raza. And just buenas noches, you guys.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, bro.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Yes, sir. Okay, Box, go ahead. Call right now, Box. You keep saying, Tony, answer my call. Like, bro, like the lines right now. Okay, let's see. He said he got to address the chat. So, the lines are now open. And this is the podcast of Slaps Your Called Your Fat Ass with a fat ass dick. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Shazzy from Houston, Texas.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I finally got through. All right, I'm going to make this real quick for y'all. I got two questions for both of you gentlemen. So first question I have is, in your opinion, when do you think a independent artist should think about getting management? Like, at what point in time do you think it's best to start getting management, putting together a team?
Well, you know what? With me, I'll answer this first. At least with me, I'll speak for myself. It's hard to win without a team. Like it really is. Now, I'm older now. I could pretty much manage myself and I could pretty much manage other artists. When I was younger, 19, 20, 21, 22, I needed a manager because I was new to the game. I was ignorant to the business. So I had to have somebody in my life managing me who understood the game, who led me. The hard part is finding somebody that you can trust. That's my input on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that as soon as you start really taking it serious as a career, then you need to have, it's very hard to do it all yourself, for sure. And sometimes it doesn't look right as an artist that people can reach out to you directly or vice versa, that you're kind of out there. You got to have somebody to do that for you. Also, just because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do it yourself. But there are some things that I think you have to have situated before you even look for that team, just to not waste people's times. And the key is to find the right team, too. Like, I think that's what takes the longest time, to find a group of people that are all passionate. Like, that's one of the things that I learned, too. Like, I only work, if I'm going to work on any type of partnership, it has to be with a person that loves this shit the way I do.
Yes.
if they're the camera guy, they have to fucking shoot with their fucking heart, and they just like I create music, vice versa. Like if it's the manager, the guy has to love what he does, and the hardest part is that to find. I mean, you definitely need a team, but you need the right team. So that's the one thing to look out for, I think.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, it's hard to find somebody to trust. But you know what? A lot of promoters, a lot of labels will not directly work with the artists because many of these artists, let's be honest, they do not have good communication skills, especially the younger generation. They do not. And I'm just going to be 100. I've known a lot of artists that try to manage themselves and they were young, 21, 22 years old. They were always high and they were always drunk and they were always talking shit. Promoters are trying to hire them, you know, to perform. Labels are trying to, you know, have meetings with them. And you can't with someone that wakes up at, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, a manager is a mom, a dad. Really, like that's
let's just be real.
That's what it is in the game. Is the person that tells you like, hey man, you got to do this shit tomorrow. You might want to get some rest today, or like somebody that kind of keeps you in check and shit, and that keeps your itinerary rolling.
Absolutely.
Because the artist lifestyle is easy to fucking lose track of time and all this shit. And punctuality is very important, especially when you're dealing with people. I mean, the one thing that a person can give you the most valuable thing is their time. And, you know, you just want to keep that in mind.
Your second question?
So my second question is, how can artists manage their mental health? Because from what I've seen so far, from speaking to people that I see trying to make it in this business, this is a very, very taxing industry on your mental health. I mean, you're on the road, you're in the studio by yourself a lot, you are doing shows, you're grinding, trying to make it. This is very, very taxing on somebody's mental health.
Okay. The good thing is that, and I'm speaking for myself, let me just give you my experience. Mm-hmm. The longest that I was ever away from home was a whole month. And we were doing shows, we were doing interviews at colleges, you know, like radio station at colleges. We were doing radio station interviews. We were doing sound check-in, fly-ins, standbys, shows that we had to fly out the next morning, have a show sometimes up to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday shows. For a whole month, we were gone, okay? You just want to go home. Then you go home, you're there for one day, you want to get back out.
Leave, yeah.
You want to leave, okay? Now, though I was making the most money ever in my life at that time, it was probably my most depressing time ever, bro.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. You know, I always tell people this, like, don't let the glitz and the glamour fool you. And when you're out of town, like me, I kind of try to stay busy, right?
Yes.
Even if I'm out of town and we have some off time, I try to create. Maybe I find a studio where I'm at or some local musicians or whatever. But there are going to be those moments where, you know, I've gone to like these crazy events, let's say in Guadalajara, in Mexico, that were fucking dope to be a part of, and the whole backstage and the hustle and bustle. Then you end up in this room at the end of the night all by yourself, far from home, with no type of family around. And then shit could get, but you gotta, I think that you have to mentally prepare yourself for all that shit if you really want this.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And if you love it, if you love what you do, then I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's still not difficult and not a sacrifice, because you miss a lot of family stuff. You know, you miss kids growing up. You miss
many times Thanksgiving, many times Christmas.
Yeah, like you don't make it to a lot of that shit, right? But one thing that I can say, that you do start kind of developing a whole nother family of people that live the same way as you, and you have like you know, it is what it is. Like between artists, producers, engineers, sometimes we hang out more with each other than we do with our own families, because we have the same schedule. You know, we run into each other in other states, and you need to have. I mean, everybody needs somebody. I don't give a fuck how hard you are. Loneliness, you know, soledad is a motherfucker, and it can fuck with your mind. So I think that you got to work it you got to make it work for you. You got to make it work for you, and try to have somebody like, you know, whenever you took trips somewhere, maybe you didn't know anybody when you were in school or whatever, but you picked the person that you were going to chop it up with or sit next to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that's kind of like one of the ways to troubleshoot it. It's not easy, but that's why I always reiterate that you got to love this shit like more than anything else for it to work.
Yeah. It's again, I always go back to my manager. He was always able to, how would you say? That's why I always mention this guy Steviano. Other than my mother, my father, this man was closer to me than, other than my parents, you know what I'm saying? Because he knew me. He's known me since I was 11 years old. So he went to San Diego State to study psychology, but he found out he could make more money selling records. Okay? So, but he had a good head on his shoulders where he can coach me through life. And sometimes you have to have a good manager.
That's why managers are important, like
it is.
I manage artists too, and trust me that it's a whole nother realm as far as the industry.
It is. So that's a tough one, but this person's got to love it and stay on track.
Stay on track.
It's
But
easier
you
said
figure
than
it
done.
out too, because for example, luckily like my room, because when I do travel sometimes, and a lot of the guys, they're barely going through it for their first time, and they're feeling it. So my room is that room where they all come to knock it, and it helps me too, though. You feel me? Because like for example, like let's say we go somewhere, and I know the game, or like I'm gonna go I stock up my room with snacks, with shit, with drinks, whatever.
Hell yeah.
So people that is their first time, they're in the room and they're just kind of waiting for lunchtime. They're kind of waiting, But I love to teach. I mean, I think that's something that's very like.
And we have to teach, bro.
And you have to, each one teach one. Like I said, it's like we could judge, but why not teach? It's a win-win.
Right.
And so a lot of times, a lot of the youngsters, they come to my room, they knock like, hey, can we kick it in here? Because they're feeling lonely. And then everybody wins, because we forget about that we're out there grinding it out and without our families, because at least you have some sort of family within that,
Yeah. Absolutely. Hopefully that helped. Hello?
Oh, that definitely does. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
For sure.
Let me get el abrelatas. Let me see. Okay. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
Chava, Sacramento, Calipa.
What's up, my brother? How you doing tonight, man?
Good, todo bien. ¿Qué onda, plebes?
Aquí nomás, emborrachándome.
Eso, es todo. Tony, one question for you, sir.
Yes.
So, have you ever, and I know your answer to this already, have you ever thought or maybe said to yourself, well, maybe I better, or not better, maybe I should be or try to be flexible with some of these guests that cancel on me or that want to reschedule? And my only reason for asking that is for the sake of the viewers and the raza that support you. And an example would be like a teacher. As a teacher, you see students come in late or just are absent. And like, I felt that a strong hand does not work in our school system. It's almost like you have to be understanding and say, okay, well, you take this tardy today, but, after a while, this adds up, which will eventually lead to, detention. But a kid that comes in late or doesn't show up, you can't, like in a school, just go, hey, that's it, get out. You're going to the principal's office, detention, because they don't respond as well
that sounds like
to
me.
that. Or the other example, I'm sorry if I'm ranting. The other example would be like your kids. All right, mija, like, I know you can't make it this Sunday because you got plans with your boyfriend or whatever the case is. Grown kids obviously can do what they want, and you try to reschedule. I don't know. I just had this idea, carnal. So.
Okay, well, you know what? I can answer that many, many ways. So let me give you at least, it's a fair question, so I have to give you several different examples of why I won't book them again, okay? Okay, for an example, let's just take one artist that literally, and when I say literally, begged me, please, I need to get on your plane. Please, I want to get it at least 3 different times. And I don't get off on that, but I say, okay, cool. You got 2 songs, I'm going to give you a 1-hour interview. Oh, no, I need at least 2 hours. Bro, I can't talk about 2 songs for 2 hours, okay? I can't. I'll give you 1 hour, and look, Power 106, K-Day, only going to give you 15 minutes if you have a hit song, okay? That's what they're going to do. Okay, cool. So when I booked them at least a month ahead of time. And what a lot of these guys do, they cancel. There's a difference between a person saying, I can't make it today, can I reschedule? Some people have to be to be rescheduled. These guys do not reschedule; they just cancel. And I even ask them, "Hey, man, do you want a different date?" Nah, I'm good. All right, cool, whatever. Another time, somebody would call me and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I want to get an interview. I got a new album. Blah blah blah." Okay, cool. I can't make it 45 minutes before the show, Why? Because I'm over here in Hesperia and I got a flat tire and I'm waiting for the tow truck. When is the last time somebody's ever called a tow truck for a flat tire? Okay? So what
Tony,
I do...
You sound like a profe.
Yeah.
Un maestro.
Yeah, so here's what I do. Okay, cool, whatever, man. This guy calls me about a month later. Can you please reschedule me? Please. I really want to be on your show. No problem. I have rebooked these guys. And those same guys cancel on me on the same day, bro. Sometimes I think that some of these guys do this shit on purpose. So that's why I won't reschedule them, bro.
Right.
The whole fool me
Right.
once.
Yes, it's just... there's different scenarios why I won't book them. But I will tell you this. The majority of the time when I book somebody, it is usually a month beforehand. So they already know to plan. So for me, I give them, if you will, an opportunity where they are without excuse. So if you can't plan it in 1 month and all of a sudden the night before something came up, I had this one idiot tell me, hey, I'm not going to be able to make your podcast. Why? Because young drummer boy called me and he wants me to be at his video shoot tomorrow and I think that's better for me. That's what he said.
He's kind of being honest, but it's like disrespectful.
Thank you. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm not going to beg anybody. You know, I like
That's
honestly,
cool.
especially, and I'll leave you with this, especially when I'm giving you promotion for free.
Yeah, entiendo. I know. I get it. I know.
Okay.
That's it, Tony.
All right.
No, it's una idea. I was like, oh shit, idea. Like, you know, the flexibility of being a leader. You know, it's hard to be flexible as men and as leaders. And so it's always good to hear your opinion, and it's always respect, because I think the discipline is key, and our new generation lacks a lot of the discipline that my grandpa raised me with, or that like an era that came before us, right? And so it's sad to see the lack of discipline.
Yeah. You know, like my parents, bro, and I don't say this like braggingly, like I was a fucking devil, and every ass whooping I got, I deserved. La santa putiza que me metieron, cool. You know, I'm good with that. Today that's child abuse. You hit me, I'm calling 911. Motherfucker, by the time I finish with you, you'll be calling 199.
There's definitely different times, and I think one of the biggest reasons is the lack of discipline, you know.
Yes.
Eso se perdió, y con eso se perdieron muchos valores y muchas cosas, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully that helps you, bro.
Todo.
So.
Sí, es todo.
Okay, carnal. You have a blessed night, homie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go. If we don't get a call in about 10 seconds, box. So let's go. If not, we're going to go ahead and just ignore the calls, and I'm going to let my boy sing. Do you know that song? Fuck, I thought we got a call. Fucking caller. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
What's up, Tony A? This is Ray Rice.
Big dog, you sound real muffled, like you're talking out of a headphone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Is this Ray Rice?
Oh. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is this Ray Rice?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Is this the Ray Rice?
Yeah. This is Ray Rice. Yes. How you doing, Tony A?
I'm blessed, my brother. I'm glad you called, brother. It's good. Always good to hear from you. What's good?
Yes. Are you ever going to have High C on Calls with the Wizard?
Hell yeah, I am. We're going to get fucked up and talk shit to everybody that calls.
Oh yeah. And I got a second question for you. Do you have any old school footage of you and IC recording Scandalous in 1991? Do you have any old school footage?
Hey, you know what? I do. I'm gonna get it transferred, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post it on the YouTube page, Big Dog. I literally do have footage of us at Audio Achievements where NWA recorded all their music, where we created I'm Not Your Puppet, bro. We're gonna post that shit up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I want to see that.
I got you, Big Dog.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And do you have that High C Scandalous Roadium mixtape?
You know what? I think I may have 1 or 2 left, bro. I'm not sure. DM me. I'll check it out, and I'll let you know tomorrow on the DM, Big Dog.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I got both of your mixtapes. A.DA Boom and Bass and the High C one, but it's from eBay.
Oh no, those are not mine. Send them back to that guy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that guy is something else. So I warned that fool not to be selling my shit. He be bootlegging my shit. So
I got mine. I got mine from eBay.
No. As soon as I get mine repented, bro, I'm gonna hook you up, homie.
Okay. Thank you, Tony A.
All right, Ray Rice. You stay blessed, homie.
You do the same.
All right, bro. Late. This guy's a day one. He's been faithful to Rolling Radio since day one. So I always like to show love to these guys. Pero mira, vamos a sacar la guitarra. I know we got another call, but callers, you guys gonna have to wait because you guys been lagging it tonight. So, like, do you know a lot of songs, bro? Like, if I were to request a song, like, do you have a plethora?
More old school songs.
What about Te Lo Pido Por Favor?
Te Lo Pido Por Favor, no.
Juan Gabriel?
No, es que Juan Gabriel son de las caras. Like, I know the songs, but I
He said son de las caras. Damn.
I know some, but like...
Okay, what about Siempre en mi mente? No.
Yo soy más como de, así como que de Los Cadetes, de Rebona y la de Cornelio Reina. Like,
okay, what about la banda de Carro Rojo?
La banda del Carro Rojo sí sale.
Give me a couple of verse.
Dicen que venían del sur en un carro colorado, traían la llanta del carro. Then, oh fuck, my phone died. I was gonna get the the letra, but give me the letra. If I get the letra, I can rock that one for sure.
Hell yeah.
La banda del Carro Rojo.
Okay, callers, you're gonna have to hold on. The man's about to sing.
Dicen que venían del sur en un carro colorado, traían las llantas del carro. A ver, let me see the letra real quick.
If you guys like it, drop a bunch of fucking fire flames on this motherfucker. Okay.
That song has a fucking epic ass line that I've always loved, where it says about something about him not knowing how to sing, like pretty much I don't know how to snitch, you know?
Hell yeah, pero me la cantas.
Sí. It is
drop some fires, y'all.
Dicen que venían del sur en un carro colorado, traían 100 kilos de coca, iban con rumbo a Chicago. Así lo dijo el soplón que los había denunciado. Ya habían pasado la aduana, la que está en El Paso, Texas, pero en mero San Antonio los estaban esperando. Eran los rinches de Texas que comandan el condado. Una sirena lloraba, un emigrante gritaba que detuvieran el carro para que lo registraran y que no se resistieran, porque si no los mataban.
Hell yeah! Let's give him a hand clap. You almost made me fucking cry. Make us cry, bro. Make us cry.
All right.
Okay, what about Alma Enamorada? Do you know that?
I'm gonna show you guys an original one that's gonna make you cry, right?
I want to cry, please.
Dice: viejos tiempos recordando, me traen tantas emociones. Tiempos buenos, tiempos malos, solo quedan las lecciones. Hoy ya todo ha cambiado, entre familia y rencores. Si al estar reflexionando, de mis ojos brota el llanto, son las lágrimas de un hombre. Nanita, cómo te extraño, me hacen falta tus bendiciones. Mi carnalito encerrado, a mí el alma se me rompe. Mi madre me da un abrazo, dice que yo soy su roble. Y aunque nunca me he doblado, si acaso me ven llorando, son las lágrimas de un hombre.
Hell yeah. Anything for Ramon Ayala?
Ramon Ayala, for sure. Fuck, I know a lot of shit for Ramon Ayala, but which one would be good right
Tragos
now?
Amargos.
Esa sí, a huevo.
A ver, dámela.
Más abajito. Clavado en este rincón, como tú clavaste a mi corazón. Estos tragos que tomo yo son pura tristeza. You know what, I'm gonna have to go lower because the shit goes high. So te fuiste, no sé por qué. Sé que me querías, yo sé que me adorabas. Por si acaso piensas regresar, te voy a esperar, te voy a esperar. Tragos de amargo licor que no me hacen olvidar, y me siento como un cobarde y hasta me pongo a chillar.
Dice chillar, right, güey? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. I fucking love it. I like crying.
Let's all fucking cry right.
Yeah. Make us cry, please. Okay. Okay, we're going to take some calls. Let's go. Who's going to call? If you got the balls, make the calls. Stop bullshitting, okay? So let's go. A ver qué pasa. Let's see.
A ver qué rollo.
Okay, we're going to take a call, and then we're going to see what... Call and request one song. A ver si la conoce. Okay. I believe I know who this is.
This is last name Contreras, first name Box, brother. Woo.
Okay, Box.
Damn. You see the heat up?
Yes.
Yes.
First
Yes,
and
sir.
foremost, go ahead and address the live chat.
I want to address the live chat. You know, my name was out there all day. But before I do that, I want to say saludos to Bobby. You did a great job on the guitarra, Holmes. Great song, man. Outstanding, brother. Órale, carnal. In the live chat, there's a vato in there saying he's me, or I don't know who the hell it is, some weirdo, and said I'm complaining or doing this. And then I got a bunch of people getting pissed off at me. Why you pissed off at me? Because I can jump on the live and do what I can do. It's not I have nothing to do with what they can't do. But
you know what it is?
You know that is what it is.
You're starting to get famous, big
what
dog.
Is it, brother?
You're starting to get famous.
Yeah, you know what? And you know what? When I called in with my brother from American Cholo, he was like, "Is this the infamous Box?" And I said, "You know what? Yeah, it is me." And we talked. We had a great platica. And you know what? I'm not trying to do nothing wrong to anybody.
Of course.
You know, I'm here supporting what the Raza does and supporting every good deed. Like, why are you guys getting pissed off at me for? What did I do? And then on one of the I don't know. I'm not gonna say no names in the chat room. I'm not gonna give them that light. I won't put an extra battery and a flashlight for them. But when they said, every question you ask is silly or something like that, ask ODM if I said anything silly. Ask Gloria Soul if I said anything silly. Ask right. Cholo Trucker, anyone else, American West Coast Graffiti, my brother right there. I never say nothing wrong to nobody. I don't disrespect anybody.
You're good, Box. Don't worry about it, bro. You're good.
If you see anything on that chat room, and they even have my picture. Can you believe that shit? I've never saw that.
Hey, bro.
I never saw. They have my what?
These are the repercussions of being famous. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
There you go, brother.
It's all good.
You're my brother, Tony A. And saludos to Bobby. And thank you for taking my call so I can clear the record straight.
Saludos.
Anyone wants to get a hold of me, I'm real easy to find. Boom.
All good.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Órale, canal.
Okay. You got another one? A ver, dale.
También así de dolor o qué rollo. This one is one that I really like. I co-wrote this with some really good friends of mine. They're like brothers of mine in this music game. Es Edgar y Chito. Edgar famoso del rancho. Y un día ahí escribimos esta rola. La neta es de las que me gustan bastante. Dice... Traigo un dolor muy clavado aquí en mi pecho por su cruel y vil despecho que no mata ni el licor. Traigo un dolor y aunque me miren sonriendo, por dentro se va muriendo ya mi pobre corazón. Quiero tomar para curar estas penas y olvidarme de esa perra que me ha hecho tanto mal. Quiero llorar. Llevo el alma malherida y la rabia de su mordida siento en mis venas quemar. Si un día la ven, díganle que la vida me trata muy bien. Díganle que de sus caricias me olvidé y que en verdad me vale verga que no esté.
Hell yeah.
Y si la ven, no le digan que en el alcohol yo me he perdido. No le digan que en cada trago yo suspiro y que en el humo de la mota yo la miro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, a popular song that somebody just texted me, Alma Enamorada. Do you know that?
I think I could rock it.
I think you can rock it. Hell yeah.
Déjala busco aquí.
Take your time.
A ver,
Take your time.
Esta madre tiene Face ID.
Okay.
Oh, sí.
She's there, bruh. So.
Alma Enamorada.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually performing like on the 29th. I'm gonna invite you.
Okay, please invite me.
Yeah.
Okay? You guys probably gonna need a fucking dolly to take me up porque me voy a emborrachar.
No, ahí va a estar bien. No. You heard of Picolandia before?
Yeah.
Picolandia. So, my, you know, obviously they're good friends of mine right there. My homie is the guy that pretty much created that.
What about Cuculandia, bro?
No, ahí es otro. Es para otro show. Pórtense bien.
A ver, dale.
A ver. Tengo el alma. Más tu color bien. Tengo el alma enamorada, no más de pensar, corazón, de soñarme noche a noche, dueño de tu amor. Tengo el alma enamorada, muy enamorada, mi bien. Si me das toda tu vida, yo te la doy también. Tengo el alma enamorada, no más de pensar, corazón, de soñarme noche a noche, dueño de tu amor. Tengo el alma enamorada, muy enamorada, mi bien. Si me das toda tu vida, yo te la doy también. Y si tu corazón tiene otro amor o tiene otro cariño, di si no hay otro amor, porque mi corazón morirá por ti.
Hell yeah. Tan.
Se asomó un pedacito ahí.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Ready for some more calls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's go. We're opening it up, you guys, for the phone calls again. So make sure you guys call in. If not, we're going to just continue the conversation. A ver, vamos a ver.
And now we're going to go to Cuculandia.
Yeah, Cuculandia. Call your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, brother? My name's Gonzalo. I'm calling from La Ciudad de Mexico.
What's up, my brother? How you doing tonight, man?
Good, brother. Just watching here the show. Hey, Castro, hey, you get down, homie. Ahí si te puedes echar la de Laurita Garza.
A la verga. Puras caras aquí, sí, ¿sabes?
Puras caras. That's going to cost you one buñuelo.
Sí, esa ya marca. A ver, déjalo sacar aquí la pinche letra.
You going to stay on the phone while he sings it, homie?
Yeah, bro.
All right, that'll work. Okay.
Ahorita. Garza.
Just pretend he's serenading you.
Ahí va. A orillas del río Bravo, en una hacienda escondida, Laurita mató a su novio porque ella no la quería y con otra iba a casarse. No más porque las podía. Hallaron 2 cuerpos muertos al fondo de una parcela. Uno era el de Emilio Guerra, el prometido de Estela, y el otro el de Laura Garza, la maestra de la escuela. Por última vez se vieron, ella lo mandó llamar, cariño del alma mía. Tú no te puedes casar, no decías que me amabas, que era cuestión de esperar.
Hell yeah. How did you like that one, bro?
Es todo, carnal. Es todo. Pues ahí saludos desde México.
Saludados.
Yeah, guys, have a good night, brother.
De la Ciudad de México, ahí
Have a
estamos.
blessed night, my brother. Thank you. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's see. We got it open. Okay, somebody has it. Says, Tony, this is Liz. Tell Bobby to sing Las Tres Tumbas by Los Cadates. Okay, let's go there. I got your message, so.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay. There we go.
The 3 graves.
They want La Chona, too.
Así les va a hacer la más cara que todas. Salieron de madrugada, se oía el cantar de los gallos, iban a hacer 2 jornadas a lomo de sus caballos. La fiesta se celebraba en el rancho del Pitayo. Su padre les dio un consejo cuando a partir se aprestaban: cuiden muy bien el pellejo, porque la vida se acaba. En las palabras del viejo, los 3 hermanos pensaban. Pedro le dice a Fabián: dale un trago a José Luis, que beba de ese mezcal, pa' que se sienta feliz, que ahorita no más llegar, nos vamos a divertir.
Dun. All good, man. Fuck, I fucking love it, bro.
Ahí le estoy aventando más media rola para que pues
It's all good. You know, son caras, pero, you know.
le estoy regalando la mitad.
It's all good. Okay, let's go. We got one. Let's take calls from here on out. Let's go. All right. Oh, shit.
I was like, are we leaving or what?
No, caller, your name, where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Tony? It's Mike. I'm from Echo Park, bro.
What's up, Mike from Echo Park? How you doing, my brother?
Not much, man. Just trying to say what's up to you and Ramon Ayala's son over there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you guys, dog. I don't know if it's a myth or if it's true. Could I ask?
Shoot it.
Maybe you guys can help me out with an answer.
Go for it.
All right, dog. They say all IE fools moan when they wipe their ass. Is that true?
You know what? I've heard that. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think that's a myth. We're probably going to talk about that on Freaky Tales on Friday. So.
All right, dog. Have a good night, bro.
All right, my brother. So, you know what? Hey, IE fools, call in. Call in and let them have it. Okay? Come on, man. Let's have fun. Let's have fun tonight. Okay, the phone lines are open. Call right now if you want to make a phone call right now. Call right now. If not, we got about 10 more minutes y ya estuvo. So, let's see. A ver. Okay. Caller, your name or where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Luis from Santa Rosa.
Luis from Santa Rosa. Damn, you sounded like Jeffrey Dahmer for a minute. So what's good? What's good, brother?
Nah, I'm just giving a shout out to my lady. She's not feeling too good, but you know, we can make this into those love dedications.
Hell yeah.
If Bobby Castro can play Pistoleros Famosos.
Do you know that song?
Yeah, I got
That sounds in English. That sounds like Pistol Grip Pump on my lap at all times. So, are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay on the phone while he does it? Caller.
Sure.
Okay.
A ver, Pistoleros Famosos.
That's Pistol Grip Pump in English.
At all times.
It is a gangster ass song.
Mm-hmm.
It is for sure. Esos eran corridos, no payasadas.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys a shout out that you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, my brother. Here we go.
La verga, esta madre me está haciendo. What the fuck is going on right here? Yeah, it's just giving me like some fucking comerciales or some shit right there. Las márgenes del río, reino, alareo, y acá, ok. Por las márgenes del río, de Reinos hasta Laredo, se acabaron los bandidos, se acabaron los cuatreros, y así se están acabando a todos los pistoleros. Cayeron Dimas de León, generoso Garzacano, y los hermanos del Fierro, y uno que otro americano, a todos los más valientes, a traición los han matado.
Hell yeah, my brother. Thank you, man. He got to give you one verse at least.
Yeah. Porque luego se pican.
You good? Caller.
All right. Well, thank you very much and have a good night.
Yes,
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Okay, let's go. We got time for a couple of more phone calls. Anybody wants to call? Let's go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
We breed you. Let's breed you.
Bro, it sounds like you're yanking off your foreskin. What's going on, bro? Hello? This shit sounds like some audio from the Jeffrey Dahmer fucking hotel apartment. You good, bro?
Your booty hole will be the size of the Grand Canyon.
Man, you got this masculine, freaky DL brother on the west side of Detroit. Man, I'm just trying to find some masculine DL brothers that want to hook up right now with another masculine DL brother and get butt naked and freaky behind closed doors.
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy, bro? Jeffrey Dahmer's gone, homie. Like, you got the wrong neighborhood. So, listen, I wish you the best of luck. As a matter of fact, go buy some Boone's Farm and then go, choose another man's chicloso in your neighborhood, homie. All right, we out of here. Okay. Jeffrey Dahmer just called. Caller, what's your name? And where are you calling from?
My name is Pepe from the Inland Empire.
Pepe from Inland Empire. What's good, my brother?
I just want to give a big shout out to my big homie Box Contreras. He's a big homie. I just want to tell him gracias for putting the Inland Empire on the map, homie.
Yeah.
You guys have a good night.
All right. Have a blessed night, homie. Let's go. I thought it was going to at least say some LA shit because, LA fools say IE fools and they go back and forth. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you did
Let's
it.
see. Caller, your name, where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Tony? It's Martha from South Central.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's Martha from South Central.
Martha from South
I had a
Central.
request. Yes, that's right. I had a request and a question.
Yes.
So my request is if Bobby could play his version of Lupillo Rivera's Más Cabrón.
At the end of the call, because I want to ask him a question. I want to hear it.
Okay.
And my question is, what?
Hold on. Let him play it first, and then ask the question after. Is that cool?
That's fine.
Let's go.
Con dinero en la bolsa me divierto, pues también le he batallado y sé lo que es andar de perro. Aunque tengo amistades que las aprecio, mis amigos verdaderos con una mano los cuento. La familia para mí es lo primero, pues siempre llevo conmigo los consejos de mis viejos. Pero también tengo escuela de calle, Los Ángeles mi colegio, soy del Mérito Sur Centro. Estoy tranquilo, no me gustan los problemas, pero tampoco le saco si acaso va a haber pelea. Mi padre siempre me dijo, es hombrecito, amárrese los huevitos, dele frente a lo que sea. 100% michoacana en la sangre que en mis venas va corriendo, soy tarasco y efectivo. Y aunque es cierto, soy más cabrón que bonito, toda la que yo he querido, en mis brazos la he tenido. No presumo ser sicario ni mafioso, pero sí me la he rifado y nunca me he puesto nervioso. Me respetan en los barrios porque saben que el muchacho es decidido y muy firme en los negocios. He hecho cosas buenas, también cosas malas, aunque tengo mis razones, de eso no estoy orgulloso. Yo sé que todo lo que brilla no es oro, vi que si rezas por lluvia tienes que aguantar el lodo. Costa oeste, estado de California, me divierto con un toque, un buen trago y la abandona. Pero no confío ni en mi propia sombra, porque sé que en lo oscuro hasta ella te abandona.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Let's give him a hand clap.
Así nomás quedó.
Okay, what was your question?
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. And my question is, what made you decide to do or work with Conejo on El H1?
Well, we grew up right there in the same neighborhood, so like before he was on the run, pues yo estaba morro, and he was one of the first people that literally came and knocked on my door and was like, started teaching me, the game. Like he was very on his shit, like ahead of his time, really, like when it came to the business of music, which really surprised me because growing up in the same neighborhood, he was also very active, when he was out there.
Yeah.
And when he came to knock on my door, it was even a weird moment at first because at that time, somebody came and knocked on your door late night like that, and he had the gloves on and the whole shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's happening? And he was like, and he kind of laughed, and he was like, I come in peace, Y ya salí para afuera ahí en mi porche. We started chopping it up. He started inviting me to like networking events, which is the first time that I really met music business, like people, Jewish people, Indian people, like other races. But yo no salía de ahí, del área. And so, we had that connection. He took me on my first tour, and I was a youngster. And then, he had the situation that he went through. And when he came back, the day that he got released, I believe somebody, a mutual homie of ours, brought me the phone. He was like, hey, güey, alguien te quiere saludar. And it was him, it was G-Raps. And I was like, ¿qué onda, güey? He was like, ¿qué rollo, güey? You still fucking with the music? He heard a corrido that I did for another mutual friend of ours that was very close to him. Y me dice el vato, it was something, I want to use that song, but I know that it's very special to the family. And, and he's like, pero, y yo le dije a él, ¿sabes qué, güey? I have something for you. And he's like, neta? And I was like, yeah, let me show you real quick just to know because I'm very, with the corridos, it's very much about respect, If I'm going to write something about you, I need it to be authorized by the person. If it's for a family member, I need to be authorized by the family. So I literally showed him this. I was like, Simón, yo soy ese pelón de la calle 25. Y a pesar de lo vivido, el aire libre respiro. Ha regresado el hijo pródigo, aquel ángel caído. Ha sido largo el camino, 15 años fui fugitivo. Querían mirarme torcido por un delito que no había cometido, pero nunca se les hizo, soy conejo y antes de atraparme yo les pegué el brinco. Right, so I showed him that on the phone. And the homie stayed quiet for a while. And at first I didn't know what to think of it. Like, no le gustó, qué rollo. And I was like, ¿qué onda, güey? And he was like, that way I can't even talk right now. You know, he was like, he got choked up.
He was choking up, yeah.
That's always a good sign as far as music, you know, like. Y pues de ahí le dije yo, ¿qué onda, güey? ¿Lo grabamos o qué rollo? Y Simón lo grabamos, and then he actually came out on the video, and it was a dope. Yeah. It was a dope situation.
Well, one thing, let's be honest.
Song, I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm not that far from the low bottom, so just cruising around bumping that is just like, damn.
Yeah,
it's a really good song.
For sure, man. Appreciate that shit. And you know, I off top have a soft spot for people from the area. At the end of the day, I do it. That's who I do it for. And then if everybody else appreciates it, you know, I love that shit. But I tell the story of us, you know. So it's always a special thing for me. And I know I got a lot of support from the SC, you know, so that shit is.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
And then right now that you said, so you actually wrote the song yourself. You didn't get insight or like D-Raz didn't tell you like, oh, you know, I want you to include this, and this. You just came up with it yourself.
Well, I started writing it because of the shit that I already knew. Pero ya cuando le dije qué onda la acabo, qué rollo, sí le dije like, you know, send me a couple of things that you need to be said. And I say this to anybody that I do a corrido for, just to respect their. Lo que quieran que diga y lo que no diga también.
Okay.
You know?
Sí.
All right. No, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And you know what? You were the last caller of tonight.
Right. I got lucky. I was waiting. I'm like, let me get in.
All good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. That's cool. We're good. And yes, tuvo. You know what, man? I greatly, carnal, appreciate you coming through. It's always a blessing. We can take these off.
For sure.
It's always a blessing when you come through, bro. Like,
Thank
honestly.
You, man. Thank you for having me. It's always dope. You know, every time you hit me up, it's automatic. Like,
it's all love, bro.
Because I, you know,
it's all love, carnal.
We already like to converse, you know, and
this is the third time I'm telling you, you need to make a Roadium radio song.
Nah, I got you.
I don't know how you're going to say Roadium radio.
You know what, matter of fact, and I know we said this before, but one day I seen you had the machine.
The drum machine.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Bring that shit to the lab. Let's do something.
Okay, I promise you I will.
All right, let's do it. And we'll document the shit, you know, a ver qué.
Fuck yeah. How you going to say Roadium radio in Spanish?
I'll figure it out. I think I figured it out.
Roadium radio.
I figured out crazier ones for sure.
El radio del Roadium.
Okay, so Roadium is carretera. Road, carreterium. Carreterium.
All good, canal. Okay, look, other than that, in November, Latin Grammy, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you fucking win. Okay?
Thank you,
like
bro.
we're rooting for you. Raza's rooting for you. Absolutely. Carnal, any shout out you want to give to anybody before in closing?
Shit, to be honest, everybody, you know why I hate doing shout outs? Because there's so many people that I'm appreciative of.
I know.
And that I hate leaving anybody out. But they know though, like, and they know how I get down, and the people that fuck with me, Simón.
Okay.
They know how you know, they know how I get down, and ya se la saben, pues, pero a todos, la neta, everybody that supports, in like a lot of the callers, that shit was really dope, you know, to see people from so many areas that fuck with the movement, because it's real, you know, it's real, and it's like, I wouldn't say it just to fucking say that shit, you know, that's not how I was brought up, that's not how I get down, and that is 100%, I do this motherfucking shit for the people that appreciate it and that can relate. And for us, you know, for us. Now, if I could teach some of them that maybe didn't have that upbringing on doing that, they're welcome too. You know, everybody's welcome to this shit. But it is a special place in my heart for like our people. You know, for our people to see like, look, we can do this shit. Like this whole nomination thing. I've been telling everybody like, it does more for me being able to have a voice for all of us. Que los locos también estamos locos, pero también podemos, you know, like, no estamos tan locos, like, estamos locos in the right way. I feel like we were brought up, we were raised a different way. We grew up in either in ranchos and in hoods out here. I got to live both of those lives, and even though it was a lot of hardships, it was the biggest blessing to me as far as the way I create music, you know. So I'm very like, man, la neta, to me, the biggest, more than making money off of this shit, is the love from the people. And I know that it's cliche and that everybody says that, but when it's real, it's real.
Yeah.
You know, that shit for real is what keeps us going. Like, if I have one person that tells me, like, damn, that shit that you did was dope as fuck, or I felt this. You know, like I told you one of our last interviews, like, I get a lot of homies that message me from out of state and that miss the fuck out of the city, right? Because who wouldn't? I mean, we're from the greatest city in the motherfucking world. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
We're from L.A., you know, and those people that message me and be like, hey, wait, la neta, I be listening to your shit and I'm back home for that moment.
Yeah.
That, to me, is worth every fucking thing. And I will keep doing it for that. And as long as I keep doing it for that, whatever else comes, cool, I'll accept the blessings, because for a long time, you know, we're too humble in our culture where we sometimes we shoo away the fucking blessings, right?
Very humble.
But the blessings are needed to keep this shit going and to be able to help. Without that, we're not able to do whatever the fuck our mission is here, you know?
No, I know. You know what? Look, let me say something, and hopefully it doesn't come out wrong. And if you don't understand it, please ask me to clarify it, por favor, okay? One thing that I've noticed a lot about promoters, they'll contact a lot of Raza rappers. Hey, homie, I need you to come perform, but you got to do it for the culture. You know what they're saying? Do it for free.
Do it for free, yeah. There's a fine line.
It is, bro. There is, okay? For a while, okay, I do free interviews, bro. Free promotion. But you know what I do? When people want to like place their ads, say you have a restaurant, say you have a store that sells merch, say you fucking you raise bullies, say you have a nail and hair salon. Tony, I want to run an ad on your show. How do I do that? Well, these are what we do. Okay, I charge for that. Okay, but for interviews, free promotion. Okay, that's what I do. You know what? One wise man told me like this, Tony, it's all good that you love and you support our culture, but Raza has to pay. That's what he said. You can't give away everything for free. Because there's many times, bro, that artists come to me and they want to rap, they want to sing. I don't have no producer. And I want to say, I'll do it. Y sabes que del corazón, I want to say, I'll do it for free. But let's be honest, bro. My drum machine wasn't free. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my speakers weren't for free. My mixer, my turntable, none of that was for free. And then when I charge, you know what some people say? You're going to charge the culture?
I mean, at that point, I'd be like, I am the fucking culture.
See, can you say that a little bit closer?
I said, I am the fucking culture. But it's not even like that. It's not even on no cocky shit. It's like, I'm very confident in what I do and why I do it, right? There's no man in this motherfucking world gonna come and tell me what's in here, right? I've proven that shit with actions my whole life, you know? But like you said, for us to be able to do some pro bono work, we have to have some kind of income.
You have to keep it going.
To keep it going. You know? And it's only fair and it's only right. It's una putiza, you know?
Yeah.
And it's real work. People think that it's all fun and games, but if you come and you see what a production consists of, then you'll know, like, you know, like I've done pro bono work, you know, and you could ask many people that I work with, like, why? But it gets to a point where, yes, it's like at the end of the day, it is a business, you know? Yeah. And I try to balance it out like this, where I get my own projects that from let's say the skate house or people that are willing to pay in that shit, and I have to run that so that I could be able to sometimes look on this side and be like, okay, you know, I'm gonna do this shit for you like this. But even with that said, like you playing a dangerous game sometimes by doing everything for free, because you're not helping yourself or anybody, because malacostumbras a la gente también, you know. Todo es con medida, you know, like everything is a balance, and I think that the way I do it is very organic, like I figure it out at the moment. I speak to the people, you know. Obviously, if it's something that I super believe in and that I'm like, look, I'm going to get you started with this. And then from there, though, I keep it 100 with people. Like, it is going to take some investment, you know. And at the same time, it's a disrespect to yourself that you invested your whole motherfucking life into this shit. You know, you've already, like you said, like studio equipment, it's not cheap. This motherfucker right here is like $1,800. You know this?
Yes,
thing.
Of course.
So
are you gonna be able to walk into Guitar Center or somewhere and say, "Hey, can you do it for the culture, bro?" Just kidding.
Me van a mandar a la verga.
Look, say I throw a concert, okay, all Chicano rappers, okay, and I'm paying them, okay. Are you gonna be able to walk to the door and say, "Yeah, I want to go in"? or that's $150 or $50 for a ticket. Can you tell the promoter that can he do it for the culture? Come on, bro.
It's because at the end of the day, everything is earned. Even favors, right? Even free shit is not free, right?
Yeah.
It's like how they say, like, I've been in situations where maybe a youngster sees me make a couple of phone calls and figure some shit out, because that took my whole life to be able to have that network, where I can do that.
Right.
Or how they say, how they be like, you're not getting paid for how fast you do this shit, because I might be able to write a song in 15 minutes that might take somebody a week or two, but that's because yo me puse las pilas, because my whole life I read, I studied, I tried to become the best songwriter that I could, to try to give vocabulary knowledge on shit so that I'm able to do it a little faster.
Yeah.
So you're not getting paid for how fast you do it. You're getting paid because you already fucking spent your whole life learning how to do this shit to give somebody the product that they need,
In that room, I have the S2400. Not too many people have it. That's a drum machine. It cost me $1,500. The case to hold is $300. Okay, that's $1,800. Okay. When somebody says, you know what,
you get yourself a young bucket already,
bro. I'm gonna be 100 with you. When people come to, can you produce my record? I here's what I tell them: go ask somebody else, bro. I charge too much. I on purpose discourage them because the homie special is $1,500 for a beat, and that's some like on some street shit. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? I've had dudes tell me that. Go somewhere else. They'll charge you $300 for a kick, snare, and a hi-hat, maybe a shaker, and a fucking weird noise from some Nordly keyboard. Okay? Go with them. They'll do your beat in 5 minutes. Not me. Okay? I've had dudes, this motherfucker's ripping off our people. I'm being 100 with you, bro. I never heard that in the 80s or 90s. But this new generation, it's a motherfucker, bro.
And here's the thing that really fucks with me that is like the wildest shit ever is that we are the greatest consuming demographic, right?
Thank you.
And we consume the fuck out of everybody else's shit.
Thank you.
But as soon as it comes to consuming our own, ponemos peros, Nah, but it's because, and that shit has to change because we all want the great Mexican hope, but we do not help.
We do not help.
To happen,
You know what? The crabs in a bucket mentality. I'm gonna say this. I was watching a documentary yesterday on Netflix, and this one Colombiana said this. She was from Colombia. She said this. I've always heard about the crabs in a bucket mentality. Mm-hmm. That is, so somebody tries to climb up, the fucking crab pulls you up. He said it's because we think that there's only one seat, and everybody wants that one seat. There's not one seat, bro. There's enough light, there's enough shine, there's enough money for all of us.
You want me to tell you a story that happened right before I came here?
Please tell me.
A friend of mine, he's a successful, he has a label.
Yeah.
Successful, he has hits, he's established in the regional Mexican. He started off in hip-hop, he started off being a road manager for Machete Records, back in those days when all that shit was popping. He was a friend of mine since back then. We both ended up in the regional Mexican now, and it's always really dope to see somebody like that. He messaged me when he seen that I was going to meet. He was like, hey, I'm a fan of that show. And I said, yeah, Tony's a homie. He's cool as fuck. He's a homie. I said, you should go do that shit because it's a lot of history. He came from the hip-hop to the regional, and his label is, they're working.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, homie, but, it's about you, my boy. Like, you get your shine, and I'm proud of you, and I'm a fan, because he was like, I'm a fan of the show, and I'm a fan of yours, too. You know that, right? I was like, oh, I know, my boy. I appreciate you. So when he told me that about, like nah, it's cool, dog. Like, you do you. And I was like, I said, you know what? I've never been afraid to put my people on. I've never been afraid to put my homies on. I do not understand the concept of being afraid to put somebody on. Like, if you know what you do, and you're confident enough in what you do.
Absolutely.
And you know what his response to me? And he was like, and that's why you are so blessed. And it's true. And that is, to me, it's very confusing how people could be a certain way when, to me, it's a proven fact that I know that my blessings have came because of the energy that I put out.
Yes.
So, I have another, there's this kid that he's really good. He's a young artist coming up, and his mom one day told me, like, oiga, papi, ¿usted por qué es tan buena gente? Porque a todos ayuda. And when it's a time where a lot of people are scared to help, and obviously because mucha gente te paga mal, right?
Sí.
I don't worry about that shit because that's not, I'll brush that shit off. And I told her, you know what? A lo mejor no soy tan buena gente. A lo mejor yo ya sé lo que me trae eso. With being a righteous person, what you get back from that energy-wise, karma-wise, like, now, with that being said, you shouldn't do it because of that, right? You still have to do it organically because te nace.
Sí.
But I know for a fact now that I've lived this shit that is the right way. It's the right way, and the blessings do come to you because you do shit del corazón, you know, like you do it, porque you're not expecting that, hey, remember I did that shit for you? Nah, but I am proof that, la neta, sí, sometimes it takes long, sometimes longer than other times, sometimes it feels like, fuck, I'm just doing all this shit and nothing. But like I could honestly tell you now, I tell a lot of my little homies now, like, the shit that I would tell you guys before was my opinion, right? Was an advice on my opinion. There's some things that I can tell you guys now that are fact because I already did the trial and error. So,
yes, the trial and error, bro. Yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. I don't know how else to end it other than you gave your your shout outs.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't say person by person, but you guys, everybody knows who you are. Like,
yeah.
And including, you know, like the fans and the people that support my shit, like that shit, I would never thank them enough because that is there's a lot of things, right, that keep you going, like that keep the motor going, and sometimes this happens, or whatever, accolades or whatever it is. But the people, the fans, the public fucking with you, eso no se compra, you know?
Yeah.
The connection with the people, eso no se compra, eso no se estudia. You can't learn it. It's either it's going to be there or it's not. And at the end of the day, in what we do, that is probably the one most important thing to have.
Okay. All good, my brother. Thank you. We wish you nothing but the best of luck come November. Latin Grammys in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And other than that, Norbert, I'm going to give a shout out to, once again, everybody that's part of my team. Norbert, for being a part of my team. He makes all this shit work. He's faithful. He's punctual. He's here. He sets everything up on fucking time. I can never brag enough for him. About him. Alex Cervantes, much love, much respect. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our team. My son, B-SKANLESS, for helping promote this. And then the Hip Hop Jedi. The Hip Hop Jedi, a lot of guys, you don't see him. Probably never seen him. But he's taken over.
That's why he's a Jedi.
Yeah, the Hip Hop Jedi. Nothing but love and respect for him. So, once again, Friday, Freaky Tales will be here with Marvelous Inc. on Freaky Tales Podcast. Okay. And then Sunday, we'll be here with another guest on Calls with the Wizard of like a straight funketeer. This guy's a straight Chicano ass funketeer. You guys do not want to miss this. Other than that, much love, much respect to every single one of you guys and everybody in the live chat. The IE fools, the LA fools, it's all love. Much love, much respect. Once again, Bobby Castro, muchas gracias, nothing but the best. This will not be your last time here, so we're good. We're out of here. Thank you. Call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this yacht.